Yes, we are currently at 653 followers. Nani mwingine? 653 followers. Nataka ni tufike 660 guys. I want us. Nani amefollow? Nani mwingine amefollow TikTok? TikTok guys, TikTok. At Safaricom hook. Remember, you have free Wi-Fi, you have free credit for those who are active and for those who are answering questions. Sawa? Yes. And of course, we have water to quench our thirst. Clap for Safaricom hook guys. In the house, of course, we have a mutual company. Na wanakuja na zawadi mingi. Ukitoka hapa bila zawadi, wewe ni mbumbumbu. Sema mbumbumbu. Yes, usitoke hapa bila zawadi, sawa? Yes. Don't be a slow learner. Don't. We appreciate your parents for bringing you to the world-class university. This is a premier university. We have seen so many heroes and champions coming out of this university. By April, I will be an alumni of this institution. Yes. Kuna fodia hapa ndani? Any fodia? Yes. What education? Padia? Yes, when you're shule, yeah, you want the school now. Second year? And then first year? First year high? First year high? Fodia huu. Wajua saa hii kitu inasumbua fodia ni moja. Shule inaisha April. Help imekatika. Mzazi akutake nyumbani. Utaenda wapi? All mutual gets you covered. Keep following our pages. You never know what you will get. Sawa? So guys, ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, allow me bring to you the All Mutual Company. A round of applause for the All Mutual Company. I go by the name MC Evans, and I will be the MC of the day.
Umejaribu bana. Hi guys. Hi. Welcome to my channel. How you guys doing? You guys look wonderful. You look great. We are so excited to be here. We are Old Mutual and Absa Bank. We are partners. Ushiona financial companies waki collabo hivi? No, si ndio? Si tunakuwa competitors. Not when we are here with you guys. You guys made all these guys come together and partner and collaborate to ensure you guys are getting the very best. How you guys feeling today? How you feeling? And because as today we are the first speakers, we get the luxury of time. So jana tulikuwa tunaongea huko 5 p.m. bana mlikuwa mmechoka. But today you guys, you've just come, you're energetic. Can I ask how many fourth years do we have? Fourth years, wait. Uko fourth year? Oh, okay. Okay, let me repeat. How many fourth years do we have? How many? Fifth year? Eighth year? Oh, okay. Sitakoibisha ya. How many third years do we have? Oh, sasa ndio nyinyi mko ile party ya nini? Ile internship, si ndio? Second years nyinyi mko ile phase sasa ya dunda, si ndio? First years nyinyi mko na time. So you're great. So my name is Margaret. I'll be your host for the financial education space. We are going to have different speakers coming on stage from Absa and Old Mutual to talk to you about money matters. Did you guys attend yesterday? This room or another room? This one or this one. So already you've been taught how to make money, yeah? So we are here to teach you how to make your money work for you. So you usually hear those guys wanasema ati pesa unafaa ikufanyie kazi kama umelala. Isn't it? Yes. So that's our role. So Safaricom has invited us here to have that conversation with you on how to make money work for you. To kick us off, we are going to start with an exercise. I hope MC uko na credit. So I'd like you to take this opportunity Have you introduced yourself to the person seated next to you? Say, introduce. Network is your net worth. Introduce. Na kama umekaa peke yako, kuja ukaa hapa na sponsors hata wewe. Huyu boss amekaa peke yake. Someone volunteer come sit here so that she doesn't feel lonely. Who is seated alone? Wewe umekaa peke yako, kuja. Kuja ukaa hapa. You're good? Sawa. So I want you to take a minute. Actually, I want a timer. Leah, you'll help me. Please give a timer. Every person gets a minute to introduce yourself to the person next to you and tell them one financial goal or goal that you have for your life. All right? And this goal will be what you want to do in the next 5 years. In the next 5 years, tutakuwa year what? 2030, yes. So by 2030, as Kenya is achieving Vision 2030, I want to be X. My dream is to be this. Me, Margaret, I will be this. Okay? So we'll do 1 minute. Ikiisha, you get the other person. So, Leah, is our timer working? Tell me when. And waulize Jenzi ukiwa point watakuweka huko. Hey. Watakuweka huko utashangaa. Naona kuna volunteers itakaa. Hold your horses. Umechoose? Nice. Roaming mic iko wapi? Okay, then that's the 4 are enough. Thank you. MC mic iko wapi? All right. Okay. Sasa you guys are the judges. Sawa? All right. Munakuja with your support. Okay, sawa. Wewe washikie. All right. Okay, thank you partners. Okay, so you're going to introduce, I'm going to stand over here so that I don't block the cameras. You're going to introduce your colleague to us. E ni Safaricom hook den. Sasa. Una pitch. She's your business. So, yeah. Pitch her to us. Okay? Yeah. And then judge. So, yeah. All right.
So, her name is Lynette. In the next 5 years, she would love to start a company. And she has told me she would love to start an engineering company. Yeah.
Please clap for him. This is scary stuff. Okay?
Hello, guys. So his name is Lawrence, and he says in the next 5 years he wants to start a savings account for education. So that's what you said? Yeah.
Please clap for Lynette. All right. Audience, wacha nione kama mko serious. What's his name? Lawrence. What's her name? Lynette. What's her goal in the next 5 years? Nice. And his goal in the next 5 years? Okay. You're back. Nice to see you. Hiya. Your turn. Okay, ready?
My partner is called Blair. My partner is called Blair. And the first goal, he said he wants to, in the next 5 years, he said he wants to own a vehicle or a car, a futuristic car. And the brand, he said, RR. Yeah. Then he also said he had a goal of becoming a pilot. So in the next 5 years, he wants to become a pilot. Yeah.
Hello guys. So he's called Bahati, and in the next 5 years he wants to own an aviation company, and he also wants to be a pilot, and then he also wants to have a company, a sports company. Yeah, thank you.
Please clap for them. What's his name? And what's his name? Yeah. So I'll ask you guys a question. How much do you think, all right, that she needs in the next 5 years to start her engineering company? Give me a rough ballpark figure. 5 million. 5 million Kenya. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do agree. Just for a start, okay. Yeah.
Just for a start. All right, great. Please clap for her. And Absa, please give her a gift so that she can come for 5 million bobs from Absa. In the next 5 years, how much do you think he needs to have a healthy savings account? Anybody? How much do you think he will need for a healthy savings account? When hizi million zako? Okay, 1 million basi. Anyone else? In the next 5 years? 500,000. That will be like a healthy, unaona aje 500,000?
Hata hiyo savings was for the future of my kids, not ati for me.
Oh, tell us about that. You have your own mic. And what are you and what are you saving for?
Yeah, for the future, the education of my kids.
Ah, it's not even yours.
No.
Please clap for this guy. Can this guy get a gift, please? That's a fantastic. In fact, he needs 2 gifts. Please, let's have a bucket hat. MC ako happy. Nilimwona na gifts. Yes, he's saving for the future of his kids, and in the next 5 years, he'll have a healthy account. All right? Please, clap for him. Thank you. For the pilots over here, hawa ni kama watakuwa business partners hawa. Si ndio? How much does he need? Are you currently studying aviation?
No.
So you need to save for, you need to save for it.
Yeah.
How much should he have saved to do aviation? Mizi vitu sizele. How much? 20 million. $1 million. Someone else? How much does it cost? You don't agree? Or you already know? How much do you need?
5 million to start with a private license pilot, the first.
Hey, umtu ako very defined. So are you guys going to start a company together or just by yourself?
He has a dream of starting the school and becoming a pilot. I have a dream of becoming a pilot. Yeah.
All right. Oh, very nice. Safaricom Hook Circle, please link these guys up with mentors in the aviation space. Wakati watu wa Safaricom tuwaombe tu vizuri. Wanatuona online. Please, these 2 guys want to become pilots and they need pilot mentors. Do you already have a mentor? No?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So I would like to suggest, partners, that after this, we introduce them to the partners and they get him a mentor. Right? Right. Please clap for him. Where are the gifts? All right. How much do you need to start your company?
I had 2 companies. A guy interested in sports, so I wanted to own a company of like a camp of athletes. A camp of athletes, because I've seen Kenya has potential. So to start a camp, it won't cost more than 2 million, because it's all about setting up the gymnastics and all those requirements. So it won't be more than 2 million. Then concerning the aviation, as you said, to acquire your first license is approximately 5 million. And then the aviation company itself, it will take steps. So the beginning for making the models, it's not that very costly, around $500,000, the models. But the big company itself, it's quite expensive. It's over 15 million to go.
All right. Thank you very much. I like your big dreams. Please give him a gift. And my pose it to the partners to please just get the contacts for these 4 volunteers and please provide them with mentorship. Someone just do something. At Old Mutual, we are going to set you up with our volunteers, and they are going to walk with you in the journey of how to set a business, how to make it grow. But hii session ikiisha tuende tukakatie Safaricom. Si ndio? Nice. All right, please clap for them. All right, so why did we do that exercise? Okay, where are my slides, please? So the reason why we did that exercise is in the journey of financial planning, the first thing you do is set a goal. All right? You need to know what are you saving for, right? So for example, one of our trainers tells us, Christmas is not a surprise. It's global. It happens for everybody. We know it's coming. Today is February. We all know December kutakuwa na. Sindio? Na January kutakuwa na back to school. It's not a surprise. But what we do between now and then is what is a surprise. Pale December ikifika na uko hatuwezi enda shags because hatu kusevia your activity. So same thing with your goal. So moving to the slide. So today we are going to look at 4 principles of financial wellness. We are going to look at income and expenses. We are going to look at savings and investment. We are going to look at debt management. Easy stories are loans, you guys. Hata si nyinyi, by the way, hata sisi employed folk. Na si wafaulu bank, so wakikuona tu wanaonanga tu client wa loan. Sindio? And also our partner Safaricom have also made it easy to get credit. And then we are also going to look at, as insurance companies, we are asking you, how do you protect what you love? Okay? And to start us off, that's what we were doing. The next slide, please, is to discuss what are the goals. And so I would like everybody individually to write down. Just write down. If you don't write it, it never happens. You can write it on your chat. You can text yourself. On the next slide, we are going to look at deck team, please put the next slide. All of it, please. Zaiton, please control the deck and move next. So write your 1-year goal. What do you want to achieve in the year 2026 February? In the next 1 year, what do you want to have achieved? All right? In the next 5 years, what do you want to achieve? And then over 5 years, say in the next 10 years, what do you want to achieve? Maybe your dream of wanting to own an aviation company or an engineering firm is your long-term plan, right? Write it down. And then against it, on the actions, I'd like you to write how much you think in your estimate, if you don't know, or if you know, how much you need for each. So if in the next 1 year, you want to have pursued a certificate, a specialized course in something. For example, when you're employed, you're always doing certifications. So in the next 1 year, if I want to achieve a sustainability course, I know it will cost me maybe 250,000. So under the action, you write, I will have saved 250,000 so that I can achieve the course I want to take. In the medium term, by year 2030, you want to have your engineering firm, so you know that you will need X amount, right? Write it down so that you see it. And then in the long term, over 5 years, you want to have your children, as he said, go to some private school and their school fees is going to be X, right? And therefore, I need mtoi wangu akiingia shule hata kuwa na hustle na school fees. Sindio? Hata fukuzwa shule. So I need to have saved in the next 10 years this amount. And as the speakers come up, I want you to think through your dream, the dream that you have, and the tips that they're giving you, so that you start to rearrange your life around your dream. Okay? And then it starts from knowing your personality, your money personality. I believe you've written this. So we go to the next slide. Kuna kitu huwa mtu anafeel ukipata do. Si ndio? Okay? For example, let me pick somebody who had volunteered. There was a volunteer to answer a question. You? Yeah, let me ask you a question. Sure? how much is the most amount of money you've ever gotten?
The most amount of money I've ever gotten maybe is 50,000.
50,000?
Yeah.
How did you spend it?
At first, I spent it when I was coming to campus, my admission. That's how I spent it.
On admission?
Yeah.
Let's talk about money that was not school fees related. Maybe allowance, pesa hustle.
Maybe it was 10,000.
10,000?
Yeah.
What did you use it for?
10,000, I used it, at first I was reckless, and I really regret about it. Ilikuwa some peer pressure, tulienda sherehe. I told that I have a lot of money now, and in fact that's what I actually regret most. Nilipeleka mabeshte tukaenda nchi kama mabeshte by the way, tukaenda tuka sherehe tu, yani anasa za hapa na pale.
Ikaisha yote?
Silisha, then tukapata asubuhi I just have maybe 1,000 in M-Pesa. Then 1,000 kakasirika, kasema
Isha happen.
Nikaisha hivyo.
Ikaisha hivyo. Okay, so these money personalities, just go next on the slides, full, so that the screen is full. So venye ulitumia your 10K,
yeah,
is dependent on the kind of personality you are. There's something called money personality. You're either a dreamer, you're an idealistic person. You like to see the world in an idealistic way. Or you're a spender. Where 10K iliingia ukasema hawa watu watajua mimi ni ule mse. Leo ni mimi na rounds. Na najua uko unaitisha kitu cheap. Uko tuma rounds, eh? And then maybe you're an investor. Wasewa financial education wakiingia hivi, wewe uko pale, uko unatafuta deal. Si ndio? Alafu maybe you're a saver. Hautakangi pesa yako itoke kwa bank. Unataka tu kuiangalia ikiwa hapo imetulia. Si ndio? And none of these personalities is wrong. So your first homework for this session, I want you to research on these money personalities. All right? Research on these money personalities and place yourself and understand what influences your spending habits. And then when our trainer comes, he will come and tell you, ukiwa either of these categories, what are you supposed to do so that money works for you? Okay? Mimi, when I first got employed at Old Mutual, nilishanga na hiyo do. I was like, what? Nikaanza every month na buy viatu. 4 pairs. Now, the best thing about employment, watakushow, hey, your shoes are nice. Yes. 2-3 years later, deductions zinakuslap. And now you're wondering, hey, pesa ibaki. Unaona? So I've had to adjust my personality from being just a spender to being an investor. But you need a balance as a person. So I'm going to invite Absa Bank. Absa Bank is going to come and tell us about our income and our expenses and how to make our income work for us and how to make our expenditure work for us. All right? And they're going to tell us how to budget, nini. But whatever you're told, go back to your goals. So put your hands together for Antonina. She's a fantastic trainer. She's been with us for the last 2 days. And she's the money guy. And she's going to teach us about that. All right? Okay.
How are you guys? Sijui kama ni room ndio iko dark. Mnaniona? Okay, I'm struggling to see you. So, the teacher in me likes eye contact. So, wale mnaangalia chile, I hope you're writing, because if I see you're not looking at me, I'll insist and come there mniangalie. So, which will be better? Simtaniangalia? Okay. So, I'm talking about income, which is the next slide. And for me, when I look at income, expense is control. What is control? Things that are within I can't talk about control again. But income and expense is really control. Before you can do anything else, you must control what you have. And when you talk about finances, control is what is coming in and what is going out. You might not have the control of what is coming in, but you can control what is coming out. And yesterday I was using an example of a bucket of water. Sometimes you might not know how much, or rather, you might not have control of how much water you'll be given to take a bath or to wash whatever clothes or anything there, but you can control what are you using the water for. Okay? So let us use the analogy of some water in a bucket. That water, wherever it's coming from, it's limited for you. But you can say, what are the things I'll wash with this water? If it's a lot, si utaosha mpaka manguo. But at the end of the day, when we leave from our hostels, we must all be clean. So let's use that analogy. If I'm leaving my hostel and walking, people will notice if I'm dirty or if I'm smelling, sindio? But at the end of the day, si lazima nikuwe msafi nitoke hostel. So that's the thing about income. Income is whatever is like that water in that bucket. It is within your control. What you use the water for, which are now the expenses, are now what you can control. So as students, let's understand what we spend our money on. And we gave an example of this. I was hoping this will not come so that I can trigger some reactions and see you all looking at me. Najua nikirusha macho hivi niaona mtu anaangalia simu, nina assume anaandika notes. Okay. All right. Just for purposes of engaging, what do you use your money for? There is I don't know if it is a gentleman wearing orange. Please stand and shout. What do you use your money for? In a month? Yes. Food, clothes, okay? All right, let's start using hypothetical examples, but if you want to say true examples, that's okay. So how much in a month do you get? Or how often? Is it once in a quarter? Help inatumanga pesa lini? Once in a quarter?
Pardon?
We want to start using hypothetical examples that are kind of real. Yeah. How much do you get in a month?
For example, maybe 15K.
15K,
yeah.
Okay. Now let's work with the 15K.
Yeah.
What are the things you spend on, and if you could give us amounts. So for those who are busy writing, please write this for us, tuone how he's spending. So 15 you use on?
Mostly, okay, obviously the bigger percentage goes to food.
Okay.
And
food like how much?
Let's say like maybe 7K.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then?
And so 15 minus 7, that's 8K. So the 8K, I can say maybe 3K or 4K will go to maybe clothes and maybe other expenses.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe I can also take myself for a treat, something like that.
How much for that treat?
Maybe, okay, for clothes and maybe plus the treat, maybe 5K in total.
Alafu umebakisha ka 3K?
2K. So 2K ndo sana save.
Good. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I need a lady on this side. Oh, there is no lady on this side. All right, thank you. Please give us hypothetical examples. Yeah? Pass the mic on.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Mary Moraya. So my monthly spending is normally around 15,000.
Is that what you get or what you spend?
Okay, I get an allowance of 20K every month.
But you use 15. Please give us a breakdown of what the 15 is. The things you spend, yeah.
I pay my house rent, 7,000.
Mm-hmm.
Then I do shopping, that is 5K.
Mm-hmm.
Then spoiling myself and transport, it's 3K.
Uh-huh.
Then I invest the rest.
Nice. Hakuna kutengeneza nywele during the month?
I use in between because I can't spend the whole amount. Alafu I do my own hair at times.
Oh, okay. Hey, please clap for her. So I like, because we've given an estimated amount of how much we use, 15 for both, and they've listed what they spend on. So let's see, as students, what are your sources of income? I hope when you make your hair, you also use that. Guys, before we get to these actuals, they might use our examples. I want them to just say where they get their money from. This row is quiet. Let me go with the gent in black. I usually don't like saying that, but yes, please stand up and say.
Sources of income. To me, one, as a student, I rely on the government's funds, and that's help. And number two, ile kidogo kidogo ikiisha, you look at your parents, where are they? And they can support you. Kini mambo ingine sahi, saa zingine ni ngumu.
Okay. Thank you very much. There was a gent in front of you. Yes.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My main source of upkeep is my uncle. But then I also have skills. I'm a barber. So, okay, my timetable is organized in such a manner that I have a lot of time on my hands. So like I have a class, physical class, maybe one in a day, and the other classes are online. These online classes, I can attend them when I'm on my own job. It's like my own job, but I'm employed. It's a barber shop at Mwiki. So it's my main source of income.
Okay, please clap for him. All right, so we can now go to that slide. So we need, again, I was talking about before you do anything about investing, you must control what you already have. And to do that control, you need to know, where am I getting this money from and how often? So I've had help, I've had the side hustles, I've had parents. Any other that I might not have talked about? Yes?
My name is Mikey. I co-own an advertising agency. We are at Pale Chandaria. We are called Adisia. Yeah, and that's how we make some little earnings.
All right, please clap for him. So this next slide is to tell you how you can diversify your income by looking at your passion points. So I like the gentleman there. Please, next time as you stand, you say your name, so I don't say the one in, okay? So the gentleman in orange there said, has a barber shop. So I'm sure he identified that from, he just looked at himself, what are the things I like doing? And that became a way to diversify his income. And for you, I believe there's something you liked about advertising, you will now co-owning. And guys, as you hear this, mnajua mahali kwa kwenda, mmesikia kuna wakunyoa, kuna wakushuka. That's the whole essence of that exercise here. So look at yourself, and these are just examples we put there to say, if you like cleaning or organizing, how can you use that as a passion point to diversify your income? Because remember how I started, in that bucket of water, you might not control what is in there, but you can look inside and say, how now do I add the water so that I have more water to use? There's always a lot of things to use our money for, and when you realize you don't have enough, you diversify so that you start earning more income. We can go to the next slide. So this slide is about now, after you've understood mimi najua kunyoa, now where do I get my customers? You start looking in around. Let me give you an example of my many years ago in campus. I used to see, sasa sisi, sijui ni whisper. Our time, internet was just coming. And we used to have a place we all hotspot. And you needed a cable, a data cable. And I realized, nikienda mtaani, this thing is very cheap. But nikikuja kampo, unapata watu wanauziwa per meter. We could buy mtaani at 20 bob per meter. But ukifika kampo, unauziwa at 100 per meter. And I said, now this is my place. And because I knew I can just talk to a few people in class, they ask, nani ako na data cable anauza? And then I just say, 50 bob. I'm still making good margins. So that's how you look at it. It can be as easy as looking around your class and realizing these ladies love jewelry. Now the current ones that they are getting, maybe they are getting from far, and you guys you can bring in. So again, to diversify income, you start looking at the things you can do, your passion points, and around there, it can be even your technical skills. You realize kuna watu wanashindwanga tu wame-click links, their phones are now bugged, and you say, now I'll be helping debug this from their machines because it's a technical skill. All right? Now we go to the part of expenses. You realize your income is this much, and you cannot, there's a lot of things that we need and a lot of things that we want, but we cannot manage all of them. So you start dividing them. Which are my needs and which are my wants? Ni gani zitangoja kiasi na ni gani that are a must? And we have what we call a Moscow table. It starts with I must have on the top right, then I should have on the top left, below it I could have or I won't have at all. So you do that table to know what must I have right now, what should I have, what could I have, and what won't I have. And you, inafika place unasema nyewe, as much as nataka kukua na nails mpya every week, I cannot afford. Or I want my kukua na luku. And that's why we did the first exercise to know your personality. When I know I am a spender na sina hiyo income na sasa shindwa nikichukua madeni, I do this table and I make peace with myself. Nasema, I know I can't have a new bag every semester. Ni sawa tu. But what must I have? I must have airtime, for instance. I must see when lecturers are sending assignments. I must log on for those who are doing evening and virtual classes. So that's the exercise we have. So as you've seen so far, what have we done? We've looked at our income. Where is our income coming from? We've looked at if this income is not enough, how do I look to myself and diversify that income? When I'm done with that, then I go into my expenses. What are the things I must spend on? And then I have this table of saying I must have this and I won't have this. Or I can pack this to a time when I have enough. And that's what we call a budget. As simple as that. Anywhere in the world, however higher in grades or levels or career you have, control is just about that budget. You budget like a boss. You know, this is where my income is coming from. It is not enough. Then how do I expand it? How do I get more sources of income coming in? Then you start looking at your needs, wants, and nini like that, and you make peace. Kuna vitu siwezi kuwa nazo na ni sawa. And then you keep evaluating that budget. The higher you go in the radar, more things come in, but you must have that budget you keep reviewing regularly. Tumesema sasa we will do that as we go on. Nataka kuona yes, kuna mtu anaangalia chini. Will we be looking at our budgets regularly? Okay, and with that I'll invite our next speaker from Old Mutual. Karibu sana.
Yes, a round of applause.
Hey, morning KU. So I'm Ted from Old Mutual, and today I'll be talking to you about saving and investing. So primarily I'll use the example of the guy with the 10K when you kenda dunda. I'm sorry for using you as an example, but you get it. So next slide. So, right, you were taught about the different money personalities. Naneza kumbuka, like, just stand up and tell me, what are the different personalities that you saw in our previous slides? Okay. Please,
Money personalities. Okay,
name and
we have a spender, and then we have a saver. And the other ones zimeenda na maji.
So, give it to Naya Jongea. Yeah. There were two more. I'm going to give me all four.
Okay, we have spender,
Stand up.
spender, dreamer, investor, and saver.
Spender, dreamer, investor, and saver. So those are the four money personalities that we had here before. And our guy again for the 10K when you spend your Doyote. What kind of money personality was he? Atinini? He was a spender, absolutely. Sindio? But now here, we'll talk about two guys, the saver and the investor. So the saver will set aside that money, that 10K annually get, he will set it aside maybe in what? In a deposit with a bank, or just leave it at the bank account to sit there. But if you leave your money in a bank account just sitting there, it's not earning anything. It's not working for you. It's just there preserving its own capital. But an investor will take that money and put it in interest-generating security. Let's say a money market fund. Or, like I said before, in a bank deposit. So clearly between these two, whose money is working for them? Between the investor and the saver. The investor's money is working for them. Because whereas the saver's money is just sitting there earning nothing, the investor's is earning money back from them. For them. Next slide. Right. So the three types of savings you should have. An emergency fund. And who can tell me the uses of an emergency fund? Just off the top of your head. Yeah. Your name and your answer.
Hi, I'm Lavin. So an emergency fund is money set aside in case of any emergency, like maybe you've got an accident, you can use it for that.
Yes. My friend, yeah.
In case you lose a job, you can always look at your emergency fund.
Yes. Anyone else?
An emergency fund is a specific amount of money you set aside once you get your income to cover up for either a loss of something or to cover up for you in case you lose your job. Ama when you want to achieve something that you had not planned for, but it has just popped up.
Right. All your answers are correct. So emergency funds are basically those funds set aside to cover you or to pull you out through in the case of loss, or for guys with a job in case of a retrenchment. So technically, we normally recommend that your emergency fund should be able to cover you between 3 to 6 months. At least there you'll be able to tide out that period of retrenchment, cover your loss during that time. So the other type of savings should be goal-driven savings. For example, if you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, you want to own a business. The guys who wanted to own an engineering firm, the lady I mean, or the guy who wants to have his own aviation company. So these are the types of savings you should strive to. And also retirement saving. This is when you should actually start your retirements early. Your retirement saving early. So that in 40 or 30 years from now, you'll be able to retire. You'll be able to retire with a good mind, knowing that your savings are there to cover you during your period. Now I'll be going to savings methods. So they're obviously saving accounts. These are normally low-cost saving accounts, and they're normally given out by banks. We also have retail savings accounts. This normally, you lend money to the government, and either it can be with their bonds or T-bills, and you normally get back your principal and interest within a set number of years. So here, 2 to 10 years. And also there are chamas. Who here is in a chama? So there are two. We have our corporate here, Leah, and our friend there. Then the last one will be in fixed deposits. Next slide. So here we are understanding the risk-reward dynamics or spectrum. I'm sure you've heard of the term of high risk, high return. Have you heard of that? Yeah, so basically this is where you invest your money in certain assets which might be risky, which might carry a certain level of risk. So it's either low risk, for example, actually, what kind of investments do you guys know of? Okay, don't look at those. But off the top of your minds, what kind of investments do you know? Ule mtu uko nyuma. Try not to reference these ones over here. Your name and your answer.
Hello, my name is Kevin. One of the investment I know it's about investing in a business. For example, I personally am a photographer. So if I get other funds, I invest in more quality equipment in photography.
Right, that's a version of investments. Nani ajiongea hapa? Uko nyuma pia?
Okay, my name is Jared, and one of the investments I know is Etika Money Market Fund.
Money market fund?
Yes.
Could you explain to us what a money market fund is?
I can't explain what it is, but what I know is I invested 1,000 shillings, and right now it's just gone up to 10 shillings.
Okay. Any other person who knows other investments? There. Alafu sasa tukuja kumbele.
Okay, my name is John. Some kinds of investment is like real estate ownership. Where once one puts up some homes which he can lease or rent in every month for a period of time, maybe until a retirement or even the coming of the generation.
So. The lady here in front. So we talked about real estate or property ownership. Oh, she wanted to say the same thing. Okay.
Treasury bonds.
Treasury bonds. Can you explain to us what treasury bonds are? Okay. Who else knows? Jama Pambele. Now we go to the other row.
There is human capital investment.
Yes. Investing in your own people.
Yeah, this is where you invest in skills, talent. Yeah, for example, if one is an artist, you can sing. Yeah, so you can invest in music.
Exactly.
There is what we call the black investment or black tax, where you invest in people who have got problems, hoping that when you have a problem, they will also help you.
Hey, okay. That's true. Yeah, that guy.
Okay, I don't know if it's an investment, but kuna hii you use a certain bank frequently, and then by using it you build your credit. Now when it comes to a time when you want a loan, your credit margin will have increased since wataona kawe ni customer, frequent customer. Yeah,
yes. So going to your bank, when you have a history with them and looking for a loan where they can offer you higher amounts and for a longer duration. Right. So here we look at cash. Cash is basically cash and cash equivalents. By this I mean cash in your actual banks. So in your current account banks, as well as, let's say, fixed deposits with banks, which offer low yielding, but at least with them you know your needs are safe, your capital is safe. Next we have bonds. So bonds can be from corporates or governments. So from corporates we call them corporate bonds, and from governments we call them treasury bonds, especially in Kenya. Then equities are basically owning shares of a company. This normally trades on exchanges or over the counter. Then cryptos are basically digital currencies that use blockchain technology to transact. Next slide. So 5 golden rules of investing. Have a strategy that reflects your risk appetite. I'm sure you know the various types of risk appetite or various types of risk of investors' risk tolerance. Do you know of them? So there are 3. There's the risk-averse investor, the risk-neutral, and the risk-tolerant. So the risk-tolerant will be the guy who would invest in anything as long as there's a potential high return. The risk-neutral takes a balance between high risk and low risk. Now the risk-averse will always take the low-risk investments. So from there you need to know your own risk appetite. How far are you willing to go? Then from there, create an investment strategy. Number 2, you need to diversify your investments. Remember, all investments carry a measure of risk. So whereas some say that some securities have low risk, you need to diversify. You need to have equities, you need to have bonds, you need to have deposits, you need to have money in MMF accounts rather than money market funds. You need to have, let's say, in crypto, in property, in real estate investment trust. Remember, there are so many assets out there from which you can invest in. Number 3, you need to invest for the long term. And by this, you need to pick certain asset classes. For example, equities, they build wealth over time. Bonds are good for preserving capital, as they also carry low risk. Then number 4, you need to weigh the risks and rewards carefully. Remember, go back to your own risk appetite. How far are you willing to go? How much risk are you willing to take for the investment return you're looking for? Then work with a financial advisor. Remember, financial advisors are professionals in the financial markets, in the investment markets. So you need to approach a financial advisor or a broker who has experience in the industry, because they will always do their due diligence on these asset classes, the various investments, and what have you. Next slide.
All right. So this is what Antonina and Teddy, I'd like you to tell us as we finish that segment.
Okay.
Antonina, please come to the stage. So I'm a student in this room. Today I have learned, and over the last 2 days we've been taught how to make money, right? Right? Tuko na hustle sisi. Hivi unatuona. So, Antonina, I have 50K. How do I split it in my budget? Tuna assume hapa tumeanza hustle ya cab, make 50K. How do we split it?
Already you know what your expenses are. So I believe you can take the bulk of your expenses in there, like 70%, with split hapo. Then the 30% that remains, you take them to the savings. You remember the ninis we did? By the time your money is coming, see your time una spend alafu uanze kufikiria by the way ni must haves gani. So your curve is already there. You know these are my expenses, the must haves on the top, alafu the wants, the needs on the top, the wants on the bottom. Then you say, you say this cab?
Business, yes.
It's a business. Let's assume ni cab inafanya kazi. So unatoa fuel hapo, which is a must have for sure. I don't know, at that time kama umeifanyia service or it's once in a year, so let's assume it goes there. So for me, I would split the bulk of that 70% into the expenses for that month, and then the 30% remains somewhere for saving or investing.
Oh, thank you very much. So another trick is you do 50, 30, 20. You guys know that, right? Yeah? You know that, right? So 50% go to your expenses, which are needs, which she said must have top quadrant. Sidio? Like jana msee alituambia juu ya nguo, yeah, you need to dress up. But is a need to have clothes, but what clothes? Sidio? Alafu 30% goes to your wants, should have. Sindo? Alafu 20% goes to Teddy, saving and investment. Sasa Teddy, tumefanya hiyo 50, 30, 20.
Mhm.
Sa 20% hiyo 50K ni 15K. KU mathematics.
Yeah.
Sasa tumebaki na 10k. Umetuambia vitu mob hapa. Sasa sisi kwa hii room tuko na 10k. Tutaisplit aje? Tuweke wapi? Si ndio tunataka kujua? Sisi tuko na tuweke wapi?
So, for that 10k, in fact, you can actually switch between 30 and 20 for even more investments. So that 10k you talked about, you can send it to money market funds. And I'm sure you've heard of them. Money market funds are basically liquid investments. You send money, you, your friend, others out there, they send money to a registered fund manager who now who pulls all those monies into and sends them into either bonds, deposits, government T-bills, or leaves them with cash for liquidity purposes. So technically, for now, I would recommend sending them into MMFs. But other than that, you could also look into fractional trading. This involves buying a certain fraction of a stock. But for now, that's not yet, I don't think that's been set up in Kenya. So you could look for investments outside.
Na crypto tutanunua saa ngapi?
Right, crypto. So, okay. Crypto is
tununua crypto. Na crypto tunanunua saa ngapi?
Umesema hapana.
Umesema hapana. Okay. Tununue crypto ama tusinunue?
Actually, you can think about crypto as well. Because remember I'm sure you know what cryptos are, right? They're basically digital currencies that trade on blockchain platforms they are digital currencies that trade on blockchain technology for transactions. And I'm sure you know cryptos. What's the major cryptos that you know about? Yes, Mse. Bitcoin, another one. Okay, siwasikia hata. Ethereum, Worldcoin, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Binance. There's so many Bitcoins out there. And remember, just like stocks, you can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin. I mean, of a crypto. And you should also do your research. Remember, before investing in securities, do your own research. Don't just trust whatever is out there. Remember, guys out there, scammers out there, they prey on your ignorance, on your greed, and on your short-sightedness. So before investing, invest in your own knowledge. Learn what's out there. So
umesema tu tusibuy crypto, tufanye research.
Exactly, fanya research.
Okay.
And while you're doing your research, tuma yako to my MMF. To all mutuals MMF.
Sawa basi,
Safaricom.
Sawa. All right, thank you guys. Clap for them. All right, just a minute on the questions. So finally, we're going to look at debt. Vincent, could you tuambie in very brief terms, how do we get out of debt? Manze tuko na madeni sisi hivi unatuona. Kwanza kaa kuna wengine walituambia asubuhi tulikuwa tumefuliza mshwari. Those are two different. Oh, okay.
Comrades, good morning. How are you? I hope you are all having a great day. My name is Vincent from Absa Bank. Mnajua Absa? So I want to talk about debts. Debts ni deni, And I always start by asking, nani ana deni? Fopia wako wapi? Fopia iko Fopia. Help inakudai pesa ngapi sahi? Umepiga hesabu? Unatoka lini? Una graduate April? December. So January utaanza kulipa. So mine is to look at debts deni, and is it part of life? Sure. Is it part of us, part of life, ama si ndo tumejiwekea? Hakuna kujiwekea? Unapata tu inakuja. So what is there we need to control debt as much as we can because we are saying it is almost part of us. Every day you wake up, you are looking for money and you want some money also to spend. So what is the source of that money? Did you borrow from a friend? Or where did you borrow from? So the most important thing is to understand and really capture this word, deni ni nini. And as I always say, deni is borrowing. It's anything, it's any money that you have borrowed. And that money, they have what we call agreed condition. Agreed condition, basically we call it terms and condition. You have borrowed some money. What are the terms and condition of my loan? It is very important you understand that as you go for the money because this will help you much to get to know how you're going to control the debt that you have as an individual. Then there's what we call the payback time. And the payback time, there's something which we also need to understand. It is always involved there. Tunasemaga kuna ka interest. Mko aware? So these are the key important things as a person that you need to understand. Na ukielewa hii maneno kabla utoke hapa ukakope pesa mahali, utajiuliza maswali mingi. Nitakopa, nitarudisha lini? Alafu kabla upewe pesa ni vizuri unauliza what are your terms and condition for this money you are giving me. Then you must understand kwa deni kuna timeline. There is a timeline. Ndakurudishia jioni na jioni ni saa ngapi. If you really capture these things, you'll be able to control your debts very well. Then you'll get to know as you proceed what we say, hakuna pesa ya bure. Mnajua hiyo? So those are the things you get to understand. And as we push on this subject of debts, we are saying this, we have two types of debts. We have one that is secured and another one that is unsecured. Nani anajua difference? You can tell us the difference.
From the bank, and then you put either your car or your land as security so that if you don't repay the debt, they come and repossess those things. And then the unsecured one is the one that doesn't require collateral. It's just that they just give you the money because you are worthy. Maybe, okay, see another.
What does it require?
The unsecured one. The unsecured one is maybe, example is credit cards. Credit cards is an unsecured debt. Now you have been with these people. You have been using their services for some time now, and they think you are worthy of their money now.
That's the right answer. I think in debts we have the secured and unsecured. And most importantly is to understand the two types of debts that you have. If you are going to take a loan, will you attach your house? Will you attach your house? Because this is part of the secured loan. And secured is the way I've just put it. It is simple as maybe if the banking institutions, if me as an individual, I have your history, your financial history, tunajua nani na nani si mbaya analipaga. Si mnajua hapa kampuni mnajua hivyo. Kama ni nani mpe. Huyu jamaa kosa? Ulikopesha nani? Hizo zimeenda. So those are the key facts that people need to know so that they can be able to control their debts. And we're always saying, and I ask you, help ni secured ama ni unsecured? Ulisecure na nini?
Okay, help, it is secured in the sense that the government has your details. So in that ukianza job, watakuwa wanaitoa. They really expect to get the returns. But it is unsecured in the sense that if you don't get a job, you can evade the government in some ways, so that you don't repay it. Yeah.
Anybody with another answer? Pilot.
For me, I think it's unsecured because something secured, you attach something. So imagine if you don't get the government job, so inamaanisha you escape the matrix evil. So it's unsecured.
So there's somebody with a different opinion. The lady.
Personally, I think it's secured because during application, you are required to attach the pay slips of your guarantors. So it's secured.
Do I give you that as a research? To fanya group work? Remember, all loans, whether they are secured and unsecured, they will be deducted. Are we together? Are you together? They will be deducted. So I think just to take you through, for you to really understand, if you have not attached any collateral, the loan is unsecured. Are you together? Most of these loans that we call unsecured, we always deduct them from the pay slips. And what we require more if you're getting an unsecured loan is maybe your banking history. And also, we have a few checks. Maybe ask you some few questions. And that's all, you get an unsecured loan. The secured one, you have to come with a tangible thing. Ndio title deed, wacha niekele nipe pesa. Ndio logbook, wacha niekele nipe pesa. These are my shares, wacha niekele, give me times this. There's something attached to it more. So as we move on, we have very good ambitions to make in life. I've seen we need to really start companies. We need to really have visions. So when we're going out there to borrow, we also say we have a good debt and a bad debt. Mshasikia hiyo? Hiyo pesa nilichukua ilinisaidia bwana. Hapo Mungu alinisaidia. Na wengine nasema hiyo pesa ningejua gani singechukua. Hata ndio wale wanakuja sasa ndaanza wapi? These are what we call bad debts. We always say when you are going for that borrowing, you need to have an idea that there is a business that I need to start. Most of you, and this business I'm going to start, this will be the cash flows, and at the end of the day, this will be the profit. So that when you say you want to borrow 50,000, you know you invest it and it will increase your net worth. Are you together? So those are the key things you need to have. And we always say, for it not to turn as a bad debt, you need to have discipline. Because when you are given money, how many of you can be given 10,000 to go and invest, and before you reach there, useme lazima nipewe mwili shukurani? So nini mnaingia kwa debts? Mnaona vile mnaingia kwa madeni. We always say if you have borrowed 50,000 to invest, please commit yourself to put that money in the investment that you are doing. Usipite hapa kampo. Today is on a Friday. Na waambia jamaa wakimaliza class hata uangoji wakupate, because they are taking a lot of time to come. Are you together? That is how you land yourself in these troubles, and you find that you have a bad debt. So as you said, tunasema hii ni maisha. So we need to see how, even as individuals, the options that we have to look at these debts in another direction. How can we approach them, and how can we ensure that azitofini atupitii tukirusha mikono juu kwa street. We have not sent your route that you are taking to go to your class because unaogopa na nini mtapatana kwa hiyo route. So the most important thing is about debt. There is also what we call counseling. You can go through a counseling. Maybe you can approach somebody, an experienced somebody in financial matters, where you can sit down and look at it holistically. This is the money that I took, how I used it, and these are the debts. Because it's not only you who are alone. You may be surprised your neighbor has more debts than you. Are you aware? Unajipata unakimbia kuna deni moja na kuna mwingine akikuandikia zinafika 5. So it is important you go back through process. There's also what we call debt review, where you can sit down and review vile umekopa, vile mambo yako inaenda, and ensure that you have these options to control your debts. Lastly, we always say, leo una sukari, umekopa 10, kesho unga imeisha, umekopa another person, kesho kutwa una basfe, umekopa, zinafika 3, zinafika 4. There's a way that you can consolidate your debts, so that you're not thinking of almost 10 people that you need to pay money. You can go to somebody else, get a huge one, look at the loan repayment. If you are comfortable, you pay the other debts and you remain with one. Tuko pamoja? So this is how you really look at this thing holistically, and also say the approaches that you sometimes people use to pay their debts, they are categorized into 2. You take a notebook, you write them down, maybe from the highest inamaanisha with the highest repayment to the lowest, or from the lowest to the highest, so that you are able to start paying and reducing your debts ratio. Tuko pamoja? So having said that, I always say the dreams that we have, please don't fear them. Most of these dreams are funded by loans, and a loan is a debt. What you just need to know as an individual, the debt that you are taking is a good debt. Tuko pamoja? So thank you for this, and I hope you have taken something home. Asanteni sana. Yes, a question?
Thank you. Number one, I wanted Absa to, one of the reasons some of us are here is we wanted to understand, do you give educational loans, for example, for students who want to pursue masters? Tell us about those that are available in Absa. And number two, I wanted you to give us your opinion on these easy debts za simu tu zenye unasikia tu kopa shilingi na unalipa na 15%. What is your thought about that? Give us first. Your Absa is one we are very interested to know. Loans for academic purposes.
Okay, comrades, I know you have launched an Absa foundation. We will not say exactly that we we have a loan for education. But really what happens inside there, those people who maybe you have got an employment somewhere, or we always say evidence, a documented evidence of income. You can come and take a personal loan and fund your education. That is one of the key things I've seen most of these people doing in their life. You take a personal loan, then you further your education. That is one of the key things that you are doing. The other thing we always talk about, and I think I'll also I'll talk about it, and this is a very good, we call it, those who are in the banking will call it a wallet. Nowadays we call it the best wallet you can have. It is called the Timiza wallet, where you can have the Timiza app, and it will help you in most of these things that you dream to do, because you can put some few money aside as savings, the smallest you can have. You can also get short-term loans using our Timiza. It can really sort you sometimes when you are down, or during that rainy day, that mbele na nyuma hauna kitu. Are we together? Any other question? So I think we are still here. We'll have the next session, then we'll discuss more. Thank you.
Right. Clap for him. So finally, I'll take you through insurance, the last slide for today's deck. So insurance is basically when an event occurs and it leads you to financial loss. Are you able to cover the cost of that loss on your own? If you're able to, then that's good. Then that's called self-insurance. If from your own pocket, from your own income or wealth, you are able to cover the cost of loss. If you're not able to, then consider insurance. And insurance, you send your money to an insurance company by giving them premiums on an annual or regular basis. And then from that insurance, if a risk event occurs or if loss occurs, that money is given back to you by the insurance company to cater for you, to indemnify you from that loss. So this is basically a graphical representation of what happens. And if there are no questions, or if there are any questions on insurance, if there are none, oh yes, just one question.
Yeah, I had one on savings.
Come again?
I had one on savings, the pension savings. So I'm pursuing a Bachelor of Science Biochemistry. My huge employer in Kenya, the Parastate Kemri, offers contractual jobs for which you get gratuities. So I was wondering, what's the best way, to set up yourself for a pension fund while you have contractual jobs?
So for pensions, various companies offer umbrella pension schemes. So you can come to Old Mutual, you can go to Zamara. There are various companies in Kenya that offer pension schemes from various individuals. So you can go to them, go into a contract with them where they take a portion of your income or that, then they will put you into their pension plan. And upon retirement, based on the contracts you signed with them, you will get your retirement from them.
Please talk about life insurance and what to do when you have a trust fund.
Right. So insurance, there are various policies that are involved in the insurance industry. There are life insurance, there's medical insurance, insurance of motor insurance, house insurance. So life insurance is where you let's say you're the sole breadwinner in your family. So you take a life insurance on your own self, in the event of your death or passing or such a risky event, the insurance company will now come back to your beneficiaries. And since you're no longer there, they will give them your lump sum or whatever contract defined specifics was there. So basically, you as a breadwinner, you take a policy on yourself, and upon your passing or your death, your beneficiaries will be covered. Yeah.
Excuse.
Yes.
I don't know whether this is also insurance, but you could also talk to us about packages that are available. Or rather, like somebody said, we wouldn't want our children to be taking help like we are doing. What packages are available, for example, for insurance that could help our children go through this phase, not as we are going through, but in an easier way?
Right. So you could also take insurance for the education purposes of your kids. You approach various insurance companies. You go into a contract with them where you send them money on a regular basis. And then that money is invested in various assets by the insurance company. And when you need to claim that money for the educational purposes of your kids, send them to school, primary, high school, or even universities abroad, then you go back to the insurance company, you tell them these are the details, and I need to fund the fees. Minimum amount for insurance.
Okay, so you have various policies. For Old Mutual, our minimum premium per month is 3,000 bob savings. But for other companies, you can get as low as 1,000 shillings. So that, but the catch is the education policies are contractual. So you can't take for 1 year. For example, the minimum term is 5 years, and you must pay per month for the whole 5 years. If you pull out before your contractual period is over, you end up losing something. So if you, for starters, I would advise someone who is not a saver yet, start investing in the money market. Then you get the discipline of investing. Then now you go to the long term, where now you will not stop investing or split the money. So if you have 10,000 bob, for example, when you're employed and you want to save, don't save it all in an education policy that is contractual. Maybe do 3,000 in a money market where you can pull the money easily and then put the rest in these contractual policies. So there is education, you can save for a house in the future. There are many savings plans, but one of them is education plan. And for education plan, most companies, you must have a child first. So if you want to save for a future child, then you go to the savings plans. Yeah.
Okay, so because of time and because there's another team coming, could I ask the Old Mutual and ABSA team guys to stand up? And all Old Mutual and ABSA team stand up, turn. So when this session is over, we are having, I think we have Trace next. So when this session is over and you have questions, please come to these guys. All right, come to us and ask us all the questions and we will answer. But now it's gift times. And thank you very much. So I'm going to ask you questions and it's going to be quick fire and you're going to get gifts, right? So first question is easy and it's about speed. Unainua mkono, unakimbia, unajibu. MC ako wapi na mic? All right. So the first topic we talked about goal setting. Easy question. In 3 seconds, tell me categories of goals you should have set. Yeah, alinua kwanza. Good, speed.
Short term, mid term, and the long term.
How long is short term?
Up to 1 year.
Mid term?
1 to 5 years.
Long term?
5 years.
Hey, clap for this girl. Airtime. Apo airtime. Next question. Tukasema money personalities you should have. Siulizi yo mlisha soma nilijua. Tukaambiwa income and expenses. You're supposed to create a budget. What's the rule I told you about budgeting? Okay, so we'll make you over there. Yeah. Kimbia, nitapa mtu mwingine. Simama tukuone.
You talked about the 50-30-20 rule, whereby the 50 unatumia kwa your needs, alafu the 30 unatumia kwa the wants, alafu the 20 una save.
Ama unainva?
Ama unaweza,
Yeah, ama? Okay, poa. Good, clap for her. She gets credit. All right, next question. Kwa debt management. Tuliambiwa there are 3 ways ukiwa kwa deni drown unaweza fanya that drown tena. Si ndio tuliambiwa? Za tatu na lili project like hivi flash. What are those 3 processes? Simama, be courageous. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, lakini pia wewe. The gentleman with a check shirt. Yeah, stand. You lifted first. Tuambie, mbio.
The first one was debt. We have debt consolidation, debt review, and oh God, the third one napotea. And
debt cancelling. Nice. Apewe notebook. I'll ask you, when you're trying to repay debt, there are 2 methods that we talked about. Do you know them? Nice. Good for you.
We have the snowball method and there's the avalanche method. The snowball method ni ile unaanza from the small going towards the big yenye itakumotivate. Considering umeanza na the small debts ukienda all to the way to the big debts. Then the avalanche starting with the big debts all the way to the smaller debts make sure like you have gotten rid of the loans zenye ziko very expensive.
Well done. A notebook, please. Please clap for him. That's a name. You've explained it even better than Vincent. Good job. 3 types of savings you should have at a minimum. There is 1. There is 2 in a black hat. There is over there with loops. So you'll say 1, you say 1, and you say 1. Okay?
Saving methods.
Yes, so 1 method. Not method. Types of savings you should have. Kuna mwenye nilikuwa nimechoose hapa. There with a black cape. Say 1.
Emergency fund.
Sija kusikia?
Emergency fund.
Emergency fund nia. Chukua mic. Emergency fund nia.
Emergency fund nia kama ya kuinvest if there is any emergency, anything yenye imepop up yenye inataka an immediate help.
Na una save like how many months worth?
3
to 6, ndio?
Yes.
Okay. Kuna airtime? Hiyo airtime nataka ufungue nao emergency fund right now. Load udial *480#. Umeget your number? *480#. Alafu utapata follow process. There was another hand here. The lady with loops. Alikuwa ameinua uko. Next type of saving. Amesema emergency fund.
Goal driven fund.
What is it?
You save towards a goal that you have. Maybe you want to start a business. You save towards starting the business.
Yes, so that when you're starting your business, you don't start with a loan. You start with your savings. Then you use the loan to maybe expand the business. Credit. And the last one, aki umeinua sana. Him.
We have retirement. This is for when retirement is upcoming and you want to save for your retirement at your old age for your family, the children and the businesses you may want to come up upon your retirement.
All right. Kuna credit? Nice. Ata make that the last one, yeah? All right. Do you have a question? Tumebakisha notebook mbili na tuwezi rudi nazo. Safi kama walisema tusirudi na gift. Lea, do you have a question for the students? No? Okay, sawa, tutarudi tu na hiyo notebook. Nani anataka notebook? Mpe wa blue. The lady in a blue t-shirt. Ulinunua kwanza? So the lady in a blue t-shirt, ape hiyo notebook ya Absa. And the lady in Powerland Project, mpe credit. Amejitetea na kuna notebook ingine. Hey, run hapa. Kimbilia hiyo notebook. Let a notebook please. Antonina, please give us a notebook. Antonina, please give us a notebook. Wewe ulikuwa unataka kuangusha badi. Hey. And a notebook ingine. Thank you guys for listening to us. Please see us after this. Alafu nitakugetia notebook, don't worry. Thank you very much. Please clap for our speakers. Up next, Trace.
A round of applause for the old mutual. Hello. Hello. Are you ready for the merchandise? Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready for the merchandise? Yes. Valentine iliisha. Umeiba maua ya Chebukati. Hai. So guys, wameongelea mambo ya date. Kuna watu wanacheza avieta hapa ndani. Umesikia wakitaja avieta? Kuna watu wa kubeta hapa ndani. Umesikia wakitaja betting? Kuna watu wa cryptocurrency hapa ndani. Watu wa Binance. Amwezi kwa sasa ndio. So guys, we are here courtesy of the Safaricom Tech Hook, and we are saying that you dial *555# as you join the Safaricom Hook Circle. I will award only 2. The most active lady and the most active gent. And then the others before to end the lunch. Sawa. Remember, you will be given so you guys will award the most active lady and the most active gent. Sawa? Yes. Nani anafikiria alikuwa the most active kindly? Nani anafikiria alikuwa the most active? Watu wa Old Mutual bado wako ndani. Nani anafikiria alikuwa the most active? Yes, he was the most active gent. Picha akipewa jamani. Yes. And then who thinks she was the most active lady? The most active lady. The most active lady. Alikuwa nani? Alikuwa nani? Alikuwa nani? Wangapi wanasema Wangapi wanasema Apewe asipewe? Apewe, si ndio? Yes, apewe. Alafu kuna sasa shati. Kuna nini? Nani anataka shati? Nani anataka shati? Who can spell the word Old Mutual? Hey guys. Tulia kwanza wewe. Wacha kiera. Tulia kwanza. Hiyo ni rahisi, si ndio? Yes, sio kila mtu anajua. Nani anaweza spell Absa? Kila mtu anajua, si ndio? So I want us to be fair. Yes, pia niko na vitabu hapa. Niko na notebooks. Ni calendar. Si hizi tupatie wanadada jamani. Calendar unafanyia nini mwanaume? Mwanaume unahitaji kutumia kalenda kweli? So we balance gender. Si hata wewe umetunikiwa umevalia Safaricom huko. Wapi makofi yake jamani? So allow me award 2 ladies. Yes, 2 ladies. One in this row And the other wapi? The other row. Alafu shati tupe mwanaume, si ndio? Wangapi wanakubaliana hiyo maneno? Ladies high, men hey. For years are low. First years mko kweli? First years mko? Wajua bado pesa ya HELB iko. Najua bado pesa ya HELB iko. Save pale Absa. Sawa? Yes. So, nipe nani? Nipe nani? Nipe nani? The most active. Nani alikuwa the most active? Huko mwisho. Alipewa lakini. Alipewa kalenda. Ama nataka kurudia. Hii row, si ndio? Tuanze na hii row. To vote, si ndio? Wangapi wanasema tupe around hapa? Around hapa. Wangapi wanasema tupeleke huko nyuma? Wangapi wanasema tupeleke huko nyuma kwa mara ya mwisho? Alafu hapa, watu wa hapa, watu wa huku. Tupeane wapi? Unajua kwa kanisa kuna kukaa mbele na kuna kukaa nyuma, si ndio? Pia class kuna kukaa mbele na kuna kukaa. Sasa tunataka tumotivate watu wa nyuma endelee kukaa. Basi. Bado moja. Bado moja. Hii ni 2025, unaangalia kalenda yako. Kuna exams April, May, sijui ni March ama April. Wangapi wanasema tupeane hapa around? Si hawa wamepewa mingi? Si hawa wamepewa mingi? So turudi hiyo row, ndio? Hii ama hiyo? Hapa. Kuna mtu na mtu wake hapa ndani? Nani ako na mtu wake hapa ndani? Nani ako na mtu wake? Mtu wako uko wapi? Huyu aniambia mtu wake ako ndani. Ai. Mtu wako uko wapi? Uongo. Mtu wako uko wapi? Uko na mtu wako hapo ndani? Yes, nimeona couple pahali, a genuine couple. Clap for the couple guys. Hapa kuna couple. Tuposta hii.
Nipe kalenda ndio nipate date.
Anasema apewe kalenda. Hey! Apewe asipewe? Apewe asipewe? Wapi makofi yake akipewa jamani? Shati testing, shati testing. Shati testing, shati testing. Shati testing, shati testing. Alafu bado kuna maua. Hey. Kuna maua. Hii ni ya Valentine ama hii ni ya mazishi? Nani alipewa maua hapa? Nani alipewa maua? Nani hakupewa maua? Nani hakupewa? Mwanaume unataka maua ufanyie nini? Nani hakupewa? Naweza kupea hii. Niache bukati. So shati niko nayo size ni small. Haina haja nipewe mwanaume akuwe na tumbo kati, lakini vile nimewapatia hivi zenu. So to be fair guys, and then guys, we have free meal cards, lunch. Kuna kuku, sema kuku. Alafu meal cards ni hapa hapa. Meal cards mimi mwenyewe ndio nawapea. So ukitoka unapitia pale nje after the last session, ukienda hivyo. Then we will be awarding the best student. Yule mwenye alikuwa active kutoka jana hadi leo. And I have seen and I have already identified. Mnataka kujua ni nani? Mnataka kujua ni nani? Of course, ladies cannot win everything. Si ndio? Yes. Ladies cannot win everything. So, I need one man mwenye anaweza vaa shorts. One man. Pilot. Pilot wewe ni fan wa Real. Kuna watu wa Real Madrid hapa ndani? Yes, pia mimi ni fan wa Real Madrid. Alafu kuna kofia ya mwisho na shati moja. Hii shati pia ni small guys. Gender kwa equality, si ndio? Gender equality. Kuna mwanaume anataka small. Nani huyo? Mbona uvae tumbo kati jamani? Mbona uvae tumbo kati? So I need one lady genuinely who has not received any gift. Genuinely who has not received any gift. Yes, yes. Our camera lady has received no gift up to. Wapi makofi ya camera lady? Wajua tuko live pale TikTok. Yes. Unasema yes is small. Yeni? Extra large. Hey. Yeni size? Sims uona vumbi, CDM, CKM. Ai. Alafu sasa kuna hii ya mwisho. Kuna hii ya mwisho. Wamesema wamelia sana jamani, amelia sana. Apewe asipewe? Apewe asipewe? Yes, courtesy of Safaricom hook. Na ukipewa shati unavalia jamani, we'll have the last photo session ya wale watu wenye wamevalia Safaricom. Kumbuka tuko live, sawa? Yes, we are here courtesy of the Safaricom tech hook. Star 555 hash. Nani amejoin sahi? Star 555 hash. Star 555 hash. Star triple. Unanionyesha message na kupea star 555 hash. Ya mwisho, credit ya mwisho. Nani yako Telegram? Achana Telegram, Instagram. Nani yako Instagram? Nani anyonyeshe, nani? Nani yako Instagram sahi? Tafuta Safaricom hook. Tafuta Safaricom hook. Yes, amekuwa genuine. Tumaliza na TikTok guys. Yes, nani amefollow TikTok sahi? Nani amefollow TikTok? Nani sahi? Umelike video zote? Tosheka na shati ndugu. Nani amefollow sahi TikTok? Nani amefollow sahi TikTok? TikTok. Apewe asipewe? Huyu anahakikisha usalama wetu uko sawa, sawa? So clap for yourself guys. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to appreciate yourself for being active students. Of course, you have free meal cards. We have free lunch. Hey, Father Mo is coming, is on the way. Tipsy G ameweka status sahihi anakuja KU. Na Kendrick Lamar low budget. Mnamjua? MC Farao. Si mnajua Kendrick Lamar low budget? MC Farao. Yako pale ndani ya amphitheater. So tell a friend to let a friend know that amphitheater is the place to be. Sawa? Sawa? So I want us to play a short game. To play a short game before we invite the next speakers. Ama mmechoka? Mmechoka? Are you ready for lunch? You want lunch? So at this juncture, let me invite the... Ngoja kwanza ni confirm wakiwa ready kwanza. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, allow me invite the engineering and Safaricom WIT community. A round of applause as they occupy the stage. We can do it better, guys. Kama wewe ni fourth year, you clap once. Ngoja kwanza. Kama wewe ni fourth year, you clap once. Second year twice. Third year thrice. First year moja tu. Kwani wewe uko miaka zote? Alafu kuna 8th year hapa ndani. Kuna 8th year, si ndio? Kuna 8th year. Kuna 5th year? Kwa ishara mkono 5th year. 6th year? 8th year? Watu wa masters? She's doing masters. A round of applause for her. Hawa ndio watu wanaandika vitabu, hawa ndio wana review CBC. By the way, I have a free credit. Nani ataniambia CBC kwa Kiswahili? CBC kwa Kiswahili. CBC kwa Kiswahili. CBC kwa Kiswahili. CBC kwa Kiswahili.
Competence based curriculum.
Tumesema CBC kwa Kiswahili. CBC kwa Kiswahili. Sitaki wewe, tunafanya na wewe kazi KU ready. Wewe unajua Kiswahili. Wewe sitaki wewe. Nani ataniambia CBC kwa Kiswahili?
Masomo ya watoto wadogo.
Nani ataniambia CBC kwa Kiswahili? Simulifunzwa kutumia Gemini hapa. Simulifunzwa kutumia ChatGPT. Nani ataniambia CBC kwa Kiswahili?
Mfumo wa milisi. Mfumo wa milisi.
Umeibiwa na huyu. Amekuibia. Watu wa Gemini mko tayari, si ndio? Ndio hii naona mko ChatGPT live. ChatGPT nasema ChatGPT said.
Mtaala wa umahiri.
Mtaala wa umilisi, yeye anasema umahiri. So I have free credit for you, sawa? Yes. So guys, at this juncture I want to us to clap for the Safaricom WIT company and engineering as they occupy the stage. And I want to do it in a special way. Sawa? Watu huko you clap once, twice and then 1, 2, 3. Wakimaliza you keep it, then you follow suit. Sawa? Tuanze. Koja kwanza, usipate rate kupiga makofi jamani. Wataka kupata soup hapa. So you just clap once, twice and then third. Sawa? So we start. Now clap for yourself. Madam CEO, I'm ready when you are ready. Yes, they are here.
All right. Niaje. Uko fiti? So imefika ile wakati. Wakuonyesha venye Safaricom fanya vitu vyao. This is going to be a very interesting conversation. Si haiwezi kuwa daru. Itakuwa a very interesting conversation. We are going to engage on Safaricom or actually cloud computing with respect to Safaricom as well and other multinationals. So nataka kujua kwanza before tufanye introduction, wazo wangapi wanafanya any IT related course? Wazo wangapi? Nice. So this is where you shine. Hapo ndio utashine.
So the rest are tech enthusiasts. I take it that way. Sindio? You're all interested in tech. Sindio? Simchangamke kidogo ama tuwape credit ama lunch. Mnataka gani? Amtaki.
Unataka zote.
Unataka zote. Maji. Sawa.
Kulikuwa na hiyo maji ilikuwa inatembea hapa. So Beryl, maybe you can come and introduce us. Actually introduce the
unachokesha Beryl.
All right, okay.
Wacha mambo yako. So anyway, so we are the Safaricom engineering community together with WIT. WIT stands from Women in Tech. Is it Women in Tech or Women in IT? Sylvia, correct me. WIT. WIT is? Correct. Women in Technology, and Sylvia will tell you about that. So the tall guy there is called Bruce Gidinji. Then we have Annette. Then we have Sylvia. Then we have Dennis B. And myself, I am Alvaro. Imeenda mbio. Alvaro. Yes. So Alvaro Nabangi is my name. So I think we'll go. So this is how we're going to do it. It's going to be a conversation. We're going to engage you guys as we also engage us, because you guys being tech enthusiasts, cloud computing is something that you already know. You know about AI. I've had some of you guys use ChatGPT, Gemini here. So we're going to have a conversation and we're going to ask you guys questions. You're going to ask us questions. We're going to interact. We're not here to give you guys a talk like in class. Tungetaka kufunza, tungekuja tukue lecturers. So we are going to have a conversation with you guys. So you guys be ready to engage us. So we're going to start right away with... oh yeah, you can proceed with the... We're going to straight away to the content. So there we go. That's okay. So I'll let Dennis begin here with talking about. So this is about cloud computing, and we're going to talk about public cloud, private cloud, hybrid, and multi-cloud. How many of you know about cloud computing? I'm sure you all know. Mtu aniambie what's cloud computing to them. What's their understanding? Yes. You could also tell us your name, eh? Unaweza pata M-Pesa.
Okay, I'm Jack Bruno Siso. From my understanding, cloud computing is basically the technology whereby instead of having physical servers to store my data, I can store the same online through different other companies which provide those services. Like for example, I can use Azure to store my data in cloud so that I don't necessarily have to have like the physical servers to store all my data like previously we used to have. Yes.
Nice. Someone else there, Dennis?
Okay, my name is Emmanuel. For me, what I understand by cloud server, it's just like email, whereby you can upload your products or pictures, files, and whatever, everything. Thank you.
Okay, that's an understanding from him. Na hakuna mademo unajua mambo ya cloud? Huh? Yes,
my
your
name
name.
is Mary Muraya. Cloud computing to me is whereby you have applications such as Google Drive, where you can like store your data in a space that is more diverse than it can be held by your phone storage.
Okay. I think there's an understanding. We want to hear more.
To my understanding, cloud computing is the process of, number one, accessing or uploading and accessing data online. Number two, also being able to protect that data is part of cloud computing. Yeah.
So, someone else who got any.
Okay, from the back. All right. Katikati backbenjers tukoaje? Darren na flow.
Yeah, I'm Moody Munga Clinton. So for me, I think cloud computing is like placing information in servers by sending them through the internet.
Okay.
Super nice.
Hapa watu wanafanya a lot of backup and restore, lakini ni sawa.
Yeah. So the guy from was it Branson or something?
Siso. Mimi nilishika Siso juu kidogo inaendana na SAS.
Bruno, yes. Yes, I got Bruno.
I think Bruno apewe airtime. Kuna airtime mali?
Yeah, amekaribia amesema moja, a type of cloud computing.
Lakini I think ako sawa.
Apewe. Wapi hiyo airtime?
Haya. So cloud computing is simply, you're basically, let me put it this way, using someone else's computer to do your own workloads. You could be having emails, you could be having data, you could be having compute. So we're going to break it down in terms of compute, storage, and network, because these are all components that make up the cloud computing architecture, all right? So most of you guys have mentioned about uploading data and saving it there, email. Those are all features of cloud computing. They all, cloud computing enables those services to actually work, all right? So Bruce, I think you could proceed.
Yeah, first of all, to understand. You have to understand, ikifika compute, unahitaji nini na nini.
ikifika unahitaji kwanza storage, unahitaji network, unahitaji security, unahitaji sasa the CPU, the processing power, na unahitaji some sort of display, right? That all thing makes up cloud. So you can have your own mini cloud computing in your private setup that comprises all of that. You have the network, you have the security, you have the storage, you have the compute. That is the CPU and RAM combined together, and you can have it at scale. So yeah, Bruce, expand on that.
The key thing is high availability. Cloud computing's main feature is it has to always be available. When you guys are writing emails or backing up, that backup is always available, right? Yes. So that's what cloud computing does. It enables always on and available resources or services. Proceed.
Okay. Bruce, Maina is my name. So give us like 15 minutes, pure concentration. I want to give you a brief history for you to at least shed some light.
Inject.
So back then, let me take you back. Back then around 1964, I remember, I know we've read about first generation of computers. And you remember hearing something of the sort like mainframe. And at that time, it was a big name. No one really redefined what is a mainframe computer. So in 1964, they started something known as time sharing. Time sharing was the ability of us to give people monitors. But at the back end, we have a server that is running, giving the computing power to the monitor, and it could be used by very many people. Imagine how much it would cost if I have a customer care team of 1,000 people and I have to buy a computer that entails system unit, a monitor, keyboard, mouse. How much would that cost?
Piga pause. Acha niwape context. Mainframes ilingeja kwa hii room.
Yes.
Like you'd have this whole room having one mainframe. Na dirisha ziko open na nini because of cooling. So it was, this whole room is wasted by one computer.
Exactly. You get? So I want us to stay on one page. Moving forward, so we gave people something known as a thin client. This was the ability for me to give you a monitor, keyboard, and a mouse with the absence of a system unit, and you could use the computing power of a server. 1964. We shift times, I think around 1984 thereabout, and there's something they introduced known as hypervisor. This was the ability of us to virtualize hardware for it to be used as single units known as virtual machines. It's the same concept like I've explained for time sharing. Nimeitisha to 15 minutes. I hope I'm not boring you guys. So they introduced something known as a hypervisor, which is a software you install on a server, and you're able to virtualize that hardware. Virtualization. If you look at the history of virtualization, there are different solutions. I don't know if you guys have heard of KVM, ESXi, Hyper-V, VirtualBox. You guys know VirtualBox?
Kuna watu wa Linux hapa?
Yes.
Mtu anipe mkono. Iko mtu wa Linux hapa? Simnipe hopes kidogo. Iko mtu wa Linux. You understand KVM, Linux? Unaweza taka kuambia kidogo what it is all about?
Yes.
Confidence. Siku zote, boy child, siku zote.
Kuna credit.
Kali Linux, I use it for ethical hacking.
Hey, we have a hacker in the room.
Sorry. Kijana mbaya na
we have an ethical hacker in the room. Only white hat. Sorry guys.
Tumeanzia pabaya. Anyway, ni sawa. We proceed.
Yes. So we've gone through virtualization. And this was the ability of us to virtualize a hardware for it to be used creating different VMs. I wish I had a diagram. It's just that we're in the interest of time, we won't be able to go that far. But for someone who's following, this will be very insightful. So we move from virtualization, we get into something more interesting, which my buddy Dennis is a kingpin in that area. We're able to use from one VM has one operating system, and you can have an application or different applications running from it. But you don't need the whole of that Windows operating system to run one application. Right? or whatever application. So if you're a dev, if you have any dev in the room, developer, no developer.
Wale wanaitwanga programmers. Watu wana code hapa ni kina nani?
Programmer.
Language gani? Kuna watu wa C++ hapa. They are
very nice, very nice.
Nani mwingine hapa? Hata mtu wa HTML ainue mkono.
I salute you. I salute. What HTML? I salute.
CSS nini? Bora tu unaweza kaa kwa kompyuta ubonyeze. Na si word.
Ushai close list ndani ya div. Unasema usiguze hiyo kitu, ukiguza wewe.
Ama mmeona codility, array, set array, cheza na palindrome.
Unaenda sana. Twende
pole. Sawa, pole boss. Pole boss. So, where was I? So you don't need the whole operating system for that application to run. And this is where I do tapo to my friend Dennis. So you can use dependencies of an operating system to run your application into something known as containerization.
And then sasa on top of containerization comes in serverless computing or serverless programming, whereby wewe ka dev usiworry about at your computer sijui VM fanya nini. Wewe andika code yako, upush. It is inaitwa lambda function. You write a function and then you push it, it does whatever you.
Dennis, nataka urudi nyuma kidogo. Umeenda mbele kidogo. Nataka urudi kwa container. Unajua ametoka kwa virtual machine, tumeenda kwa container. Hii container inaenda aje?
Sasa hiyo inakuja on the next slide. Wakati tunaangalia design of application, how the current state of the application design. So tutapiga hiyo story. But venye Bruce amesema is you have a VM that is 20 GB RAM, 10 CPU. Unapata pale unatumia 0.01 CPU na the entire VM is used by one application.
So the point is you want to cut on cost. Tumetoka kwa mainframe, inajaza the whole room. You're using all that. There's a lot of power, cooling and compute that you're using. Tumeenda kwa virtualization where you can take even the desktops you have in the computer labs. You take one, unaeka virtualization software, a hypervisor. Ukiinstall hiyo hypervisor, tuseme ni VMware, KVM, watu wa Red Hat hapa, watu wa Kali Linux hapa wanajua hizo. Ukisha install the hypervisor, then you configure virtual machines in it. You can have as many virtual machines as possible. So these virtual machines mean you're having virtual computers inside that one computer. So you can have like 5 or 10 computers within one computer. All right? Now tunatoka hapo tunaenda kwa containers where the container can run inside that virtual machine. Bachelors, wale uko na Unatoa huku watu wa Mfumbiro wako.
Unataka kuanza uchokozi.
Watu wa Mfumbiro. Hapo watu wanapika. Kuna sufuria ndogo inaingia kwa ile sufuria nyingine alafu kuna ile nyingine. Unanipata? Sasa unaamua unataka kupikia kwa gani? Hii kubwa maybe inakula moto mingi. Unataka kutumia ile ndogo. Ama depending na appetite yako, umeamua leo unapikia kila mtu hapa. Utatumia hiyo sufuria ndogo. So you won't go for a container. You'll want the physical server. Sawa? Tuko pamoja mpaka hapo. Nani akona swali ya virtualization?
Hapo kwa when now you have one machine, what are some of the ways that you can now use for us? Kama wewe ndio unairan, sisi tutaiaccess aje?
Huyu kijana ako darasani, correct. Bruce nitakuachia hiyo. Nitakuachia.
Apige
nani mwingine kuna swali lingine? Bruce ana running na maswali mbili. Swali moja inaitwa high availability. Yani usiwahi set up system na uko na network moja ama power line moja, lazima kukue na high availability. Si tuongelea cloud computing? Swali lingine.
So talk about Amazon servers.
Correct. Huyu pia ako darasani. Sasa uko na maswali mbili.
Bado tumeongezea huyu jamaa kwa fiti.
Nani? Umesema DR na DR. Aya, ya tatu.
Nataka ile ngumu kabisa.
Nani ako na swali ngumu?
Bati yake.
Sawa. Will you allow me to do ladies first? Sawa. AWS.
But men before.
But men before. Sawa, pole. Will you allow me to say men before? But ladies first. I'm sorry. So anyway. So AWS. Mmesikia Amazon Web Services. AWS is a solution by Amazon. Jeff Bezos. Sijui sasa yako namba ngapi kwa list. So this is public cloud. It's the ability to store your services, even your applications, in a different remote site. So I think he's opened, the one we use is in SA, if I'm not wrong. But there are different regions, enye ametengeneza servers, and then he's made them publicly available and usable by different people. You get? So it's a way where you can run your services. I have some friends who've developed some applications that are running in DigitalOcean, AWS, Azure, GCP, Linode, Wasabi. I can continue. You get?
Una rap. Kuna studio ke.
So you get. So AWS is the ability to, they offer a public cloud. Come to think of it, I have experts for AWS. So Annette, Sylvia, who's going to take this for the lady?
Hi everyone, again, my name is Sylvia. I won't call myself a cloud expert, but I think I'm on the way. I'm close.
Humility.
So, yeah, your question was AWS servers. Huh? In relation to gaming. AWS servers in relation to gaming. You guys, has Safaricom touched that domain? So you can probably see us, we show you how we do gaming as ourselves, but AWS offers you like very big instances. You see how you have like a gaming laptop, iko na sijui, I don't know if it is imefika 32 GB RAM and some ridiculous amount of storage, like 1 terabyte. And then it has all these graphic, they're called?
Graphic cards.
GPUs. So such that hiyo kitu kiakishia hapa, all of you have to leave the room first, ipoe, and then ndio mrudi. So AWS takes away that all of you have to leave. It will just provision for you in like maybe even 5 seconds, and then you're able to deploy whatever game you want to play, and you will figure it out. But then the good thing is you can always shut it down, isikukule pesa, and then bring it back up when you want to. Yeah.
Are you a gaming developer? Oh, you're a player.
What do you play?
It hasn't been released. I'm interested. It's called GTA, Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, okay. GTA. Watu wa Grand Theft Auto. Okay. Niliachia Virtual City. Sasa tuko wapi? Niliachia kwa Virtual City, but ni sawa. Ni Vice City. Virtual City ni ile ya DJ.
He has his own version of GTA on AWS.
Unaweza clone, by the way. Unaweza clone. That's another thing you can do in the cloud. You can clone and have your own version. Sasa umemaliza?
Kuna swali lingine?
Asante sana Sylvia. Enda kwa ule jamaa. Sasa umwelezee. Unaona unafanya watu wanauliza maswali.
Wana boss ndio.
Okay, nataka kujuaje juu umesema unatoa the need for like a laptop ile iko na that ridiculous amount of. So wewe unatumia nini ili access hizo servers?
That is tied to the question he asked. But Sylvia, shine nayo kama unaweza. Why not?
Okay. So ideally the only use for your laptop will be you have a browser and then you access the AWS portal.
Over the internet.
Yeah, over the internet. So you won't need 32 GB of RAM just to open Chrome. You just need even 8 GB of RAM. never, because everything will be on the cloud. It won't even make your laptop hammer.
Well answered. Another question?
Backbenchers ni wale.
So
Kuna
sometimes
maswali?
when you're trying to play a game, it requests you to write your own code so that you are able to like play, so that you can actually sell that code to Amazon, and then you can get some allowance. So my question is, once you sell this code to Amazon, does it become your property, or does it now belong to him? I don't know.
Just repeat that. Just repeat the question again.
Sometimes when you want to play a game, all right, and you use the Amazon AWS, right, you have to write a code so that the game is customized to you. In where peke yako unaweza cheza hiyo game. Sasa my question ni, hiyo code sometimes you have to sell it to some, like the way Elon Musk anasema, si lazima eti umeenda shule, provided you know how to write a code, you can just, So when you sell it to him, does that become their property or now your property?
It is your property, all right? But remember, software, si ni wewe umeinvent, all right? So there's an issue there. Ikishaenda public, depending with the licenses you've put. Because even as you're doing, for those who code and use GitHub and do open source contribution, if you upload it online, na mimi nipate hiyo code, maze na shine nayo. And I can change maybe something simple. Maybe your game was mtu anaingia hapa ndani, ana dance, ana paint, then mimi nikaongeza functionality anabomoa window. Na hiyo nisha change your code. So uta claim ni yako, nimesonga nayo. You get? Yeah. So there's that. It's been a contention actually with most people who are doing application development, where how do they claim intellectual property of that code? So more often than not, it is things to do with you have to run, even when you have to run into the hardware, how to secure it and whatnot. More often than not, someone else will replicate it very fast. Where hata wewe sasa unaweza come up na a new chatting platform kama X na utaenda nayo. Kenye tu utashinda Elon Musk nayo ni mfuko. You get? Yeah. So that's the other thing that the internet has done. It may decentralize vitu mingi. So you have a lot of freedom to do a lot. I don't know if you answered.
So the question was, you visualize your environment.
Yes.
And how would the users, many users, access those resources here?
Okay. You've heard of APIs. If you have an application running in your private environment, you have to expose it. In order for me to hit whatever application you have, there's some NATing that goes on. NAT ni, I'm converting that private IP of yours to a public IP address. Kutoka hapo, you can use, I don't know if anyone has used GoDaddy before, such that ni kama domain name, a DNS quote and unquote, or even Google, where you can say, your name is? So you can say Mike points to 172.18.50.100. So every single time I want to access the application that Mike has, naingia Google na search Mike. Napata access to the environment. Nitafute nyuma ya tent, ndo nikuje nikuexplainie. Some things of course I'll be careful, but how are you able to pay your money? How are we able to keep track that you've sent 100 bob and what has remained in the database is 500? How am I able to synchronize all your accounts? You see, that's a whole other level. Nivenye tumeanza chini. But is it inakupa insight? So over to you,
Bruce,
sir.
Bruce, I think you focused so much on now
the network
application exposing application that you're running on that VM externally. But the issue, I think the question was rather, how would I access you as the provider? You have that bare metal server.
Yes.
You virtualized it using a VM. you've generated various VMs, but you've generated a VM for him. How will he access that VM?
How will he, again, nothing. I do nothing. But then we can do tunneling, VPN tunneling, such that, because I think that's what we do, give or take. So in tunneling, hear me out. Tunneling ni, how are you able to access my environment? You get? So back then, I think I did a solution for CBIL Cloud, and you are giving guys a public IP address. But it's more preferable than not to do tunneling, such that you're able to access my environment and reach that VM. In different instances like AWS. Uko na any account na AWS?
So issue kwanza,
yes.
Nikikupea VM na kupea IP. Kitu ya kwanza unafanya ni kufanya kitu kingine inaitwa ping. You ping it. You ping it, ukiona ina respond, then you are able to reach that server. But how are you going to do it? From the terminal, from your terminal command line tool. Nimekucreate as a user. So jina yako ni Mikey. So unafanya hapo hivyo create user, anaitwa Mikey with a password, unanipea some sort of SSH key. So ukifika kwa terminal unapiga SSH Mikey at IP address. Unaingia kwa hiyo server kama umepiga nini. So kama server iko na GUI, unatumia vitu kama exactly graphical user interface. Tuseme nimeinstall kwa hiyo VM nika-install Windows. So kuna
remote desktop.
Remote desktop, exactly.
Watu wa MacBook wanatumia nini? Mimi ni wa Linux natumianga Tiger VNC.
Ngori. So that is how you can access it, right? Basically through the terminal, SSH terminal, or you can use the GUI for those GUI-based VMs that have been provisioned. I think the next thing now
is there any other question? We can do questions after. Perfect. Thanks for that.
So we talked about cloud, and you just defined cloud. So there is private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud, and then we have multi-cloud. So just simple terms, Bruce. Wewe piga tu.
Yes.
Public cloud ni nini? Wewe ugonga hybrid cloud ni gani? Multi-cloud ni ipi ndio? Sasa to understand this story.
I can start with private cloud. Private cloud, I really hope atuabo. Poleni. Anyway, so private cloud is, you can have a server. I'm 100% sure KU kuna mahali nitapelekwa kwa server room, nionyesho hizi ndio server zenyu, na kuna applications zenye zina run. So the only thing they might expose, for example, I'm not so sure of the architecture, ni portal. Such that hizi zenye munatafuta hadi exam card. Where is all this running from? Utapata there's a server room in KU that is being used for that workload. That is what is known as a private. Is it public? I do hand over. On a private environment, or ni yako? It is on a private network. It belongs to you, in other words.
Okay. Public cloud is basically what I have talked about, AWS. It's those people, those companies that have set up different data centers in different regions, and then we use their servers because they have released them to the public for us to use. So they're not owned by, like if I was to launch maybe an EC2, it's not owned by me per se, it's running on AWS, so it's theirs. So we have, as a user, you have little control of like the actual servers, you only have control of what you put in your cloud environment.
Question? No, sorry, at the end.
See, the owner, it's still an owner, it's just that it's not any of us here. It's like AWS has their own, they own that cloud that they provide. They charge us for compute, storage, like literally anything, hourly or I don't know, monthly, depending on your subscription.
Okay. So tuseme wewe ni bazuu bana, uko na pesa inakusumbua sana. Fanya aje? Unaenda na buy server nyingine.
Huyu kwanza ni kijana wa crypto.
Nimecheki.
Ako na coins.
Unaenda unanunua server nyingine wazimu, server nyingine big, storage and everything. You get and set it up. Safaricom wanakuletea your network, wanakupea private network na wanakupea public network. Unaanza kuvirtualize vitu, unauzia wasee VM. So ni uptime. Unasema VM yako ni 5 GB RAM, 2 cores. Hiyo unacharge aje based on uptime. Unaunda madoa hapo hivyo haraka haraka.
Pesa inaingia. Haya. Hybrid cloud. So hybrid cloud is basically a combination of public and private. Why would you go for hybrid? Depending with the business you run or your preference. It could be preference, by the way, because pia ukiwa na pesa, you can decide you want to run both. So the idea is you have your own private cloud. So for example, KU have their own server room. They're running services here. They have a student portal. They have an exam portal, all those things. But they want to have a backup or high availability. They want to make sure that in case unajua saa zingine mnaweza amua comrades mufanye ile kitu, then bahati mbaya site iende. So that they don't lose all that data, they have a backup on the cloud. So it could be AWS or Azure. So they have a concurrent server running on the cloud where if this goes down, that one is still running. So all they have to do is redirect all their traffic to the AWS cloud through the public IP. All right? Which now they are paying for. So the whole idea of having a hybrid cloud is to have at least that redundancy and high availability to safeguard yourself from losing data. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to lose that data. Rebuilding or getting back that data. Saizi students wa last year wakikuja waseme, or rather, if an exam was taken last year, na kuna mtu alihata marks last year na amekuja kuclaim, tunaenda kuangalia wapi. Yeah? Tunaweza formulate, lakini auditor akikuja itakuwa ni makosa. Ama you did payment ya fees na haijai reflect. Alafu wamesema hiyo server ya accounting makosa ilifanyika. But umelipa pesa, uende kotini, see they'll have to pay you. Yeah, so they need to have that backup. They need to have a place, or they need to factor in redundancy, security of your data at the same time, as much as it's on the cloud. So, but this is different from multi-cloud.
Another scenario where you can decide to use hybrid. Cheki, wewe ni entrepreneur, uka decide umedevelop application fulani hapo ngori sana, yeah? But see, kuna zile data yenye ukirun pale AWS, hakuna AWS data center in Kenya. Enye iko ni South Africa ya kwanza, ngine Ireland, ngine Dubai, hizo na ienda hadi US. But kuna government policy that those sensitive information, data, should reside within the country, right? But wewe application yako unataka, a blast. Na pia kurana private cloud, private data center ni expensive. Unaona? Una storage za power, na storage za place kama hii kukodisha whole building, security iko hapo ndani. So unasema cheki, acha tu ni run a private cloud ya DB. Na storage tu ya data, lakini application yangu itasit on the cloud, right? So itakuwa umefanya direct connection between your private network and the cloud. Application in this case, user atahit kwanza AWS or public, akuje aingie sasa internal network ya Kenya, akuje hadi your private data center. That's another scenario you can do it. And also some sort of costing pia in a come into play. And Annette to talk about multi-cloud, what multi-cloud is. Yeah.
So for multi-cloud, basically it means you're not relying on only one cloud provider. You're not vendor locked in. You can combine AWS with Azure or with Google cloud providers. So basically we are saying you're not sticking to one cloud provider, just in case they spike their prices for the resources, you have the option to say we can use another cloud provider. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Remember, these guys who are having public cloud, kina AWS, GCP, Azure, Meta, they have strengths pia. Kuna mwingine ako sawa hii design. So that brings us now to microservice design, right? You as an entrepreneur, you have an idea of developing an e-commerce. Venye tuna develop vitu saizi, kitambo ilikuwa monolithic. Umeweka CSS yako na JavaScript na backend yako pamoja, ukaibundle na uka-run on a server. But sasa comes microservice design. Hiyo kitu unaenda per module. Your e-commerce platform will have the backend, right? Kwa backend, kuna modules kadhaa. Kuna catalog service, kuna payment service, kuna invoice service. So separate those into modular that can be developed by anybody else, and they interact. Those services, all of them, interact via a protocol called API. That is application programming interface. So you expose application service yako ya kulogin ina expose an endpoint, right? And ina expect username and password. So unajaza pale kwa browser, inachukua hiyo, ina bundle kwa request, inaenda kwa service yako, ina process, inagonga DB database, ina check this user exists, ana login, anaenda to the catalog page yenye iko na hizo products yenye una sell. Yeah? So in terms of access, sasa uko na mobile application side, unaweza access your e-commerce on mobile app, unaweza create a mobile app, and they are going to query the service or your application or get the services of your e-commerce via an API. You have browser, right? And then unapata wase wengine anataka kuintegrate na e-commerce yako, una expose some APIs pia. Venye venye daraja API you work. That's another microservice. Backend huko tuko na services karibu sijui ngapi chwani. Yeah? Services kadhaa yenye zina pale una interact na API moja inaitwa daraja API. But unacheki kwa paths. Maybe ni ya ku post money, what? Yeah, statements and all that. So kwa microservice architecture kuna story ya load balancing. Now,
yo patia Bruce explain load balancer.
Yeah. Alafu tunakuja side ya how do you deliver? In terms of when you mfanya a software development cycle, una zile za waterfall, what?
SDLC. Kwa watu wamefanya hizo vitu hapa.
So inakusaidia kwa side ya automation, CI/CD automation inakusaidia ku deliver your application on time na ku fix na ku kunda releases. So jamaa, wewe piga load balancing kwanza ueleze. Load balancing ni nini and how does it assist in terms of microservice design? And then, so nilikuwa nakwambia ile story ya multi-cloud. Ukapata GCP iko na lower rate in terms of hosting a database, PostgreSDB. Application yako, service A, inabidi ionge na database. Ina run AWS. Unaenda una expose database yako GCP, una connect straight hivyo, yeah?
Load balancer. So we were having this conversation yesterday. And nilikuwa nafikiria how can we make it easy to explain? This idea didn't come from me, I promise. For real. Sijui mbona nimechaguliwa. But anyway, the example is simply this.
Wacha kujitetea.
Usikue hivyo, utachoma. So Valentine. Ni Valentine Day. Sawa? Uko na requests kama 3.
Nani ako na request?
Wewe kama Alvaro na Bangi. You have 3 requests.
Choma shule.
Nakwambia girlfriend 1 amekuambia maua ya leo iko wapi? Girlfriend 2 amekuuliza leo tunakula wapi? Girlfriend 3 amesema why you not giving me attention? So the question of the day is, how do you load balance them?
Hizo zote ni traffic.
Techies in the house. No, messing up, Anyway, the idea is, in a load balancer, you have very many requests. Tuseme, napata request ni 7 p.m. Kila mtu anataka kulipa mat, kila mtu anataka kulipa name any service. You want to buy supper, you want to buy, how do I load balance all these requests from everyone in this house and deliver it on time? You hit a load balancer. The load balancer, behind it, it has different servers or instances running. Yenye itasema, we kuja kwa hii, it can be up to 10, you name it. So we look at traffic eco balance charge, and there are different types of load balancers. Is that something to go and read about?
Wapatie homework.
Tuwape homework, sindio? Go and read about it. Every time unasikia load balance unakumbuka Valentine. So, very nice. Can you go to the next?
Hey, tuende kwa the next one.
Next slide, please.
Service router, basically, sawa, into the next one.
Okay. So, Safaricom, DevOps, CI/CD, automation iko aje? Mimi kama developer, uko hapa. Code yako inabidi, or whatever you have developed inabidi run hapa. Naitwa container platform. Right? Hizo vitu hizo sema containers. So developer, wewe una code tu, ukisha push, ukisha commit code yako, inakuja kwa source control management, which is GitLab. Sasa hapa kuna another team pia, DevOps engineers, who takes over from here. They have some workflows because we need to create something that is runnable and executable. Right? Wewe ukicreate your Java application yako buda, utai package .exe ama uweke .ja, .wa. So hiyo ndio function ya Jenkins. Jenkins ina pull hiyo code hapa, ina build hiyo image. Then hiyo image umeipackage, umeweka na dependencies zako, inabidi story mahali fulani, tunaita registry. These are the things that you will deal with it on corporate or when you come be a developer. Then hiyo image yako iko kwa a registry, Docker registry. Inabidi ikuwe deployed kwa container platform. So tuko na another automation tool inaitwa FluxCD. But those people who have been developing for a while, you have Argo CD as well, which can now do this. In a run kwa cluster, and then uko na monitoring stack. Hapa sasa uko na Prometheus, uko na Grafana, uko na Dynatrace. These are the tools that give or monitors your application. Kama kuna downtime, imeanza ku drop traffic, kuna ma X500 errors, ma internal server errors hapo.
Observability basically. Itakuwa inakwambia shida iko wapi.
Yeah.
Mtu anajaribu kulipa imekataa, anakupigia simu, unajua ni database yangu i-connect ama kuna network imeanguka mahali. So those monitoring tools will give you an idea of where to start so that you sort it as quick as possible.
So I'll take questions now from CI/CD and microservice before we proceed to the next, which is now talking about AI, how AI comes into cloud computing.
Thank you. My name is Mikey, and my question is about access, especially illegal access. Yeah, on multi-cloud and if, for example, I am an illegal accessor and I have accessed the system, and then nikitoka nikafanya ile kitu na hamkujua, will it change the other side, ambayo the multi-cloud or the interchange? Mimi, let me use the school system for example. Nimeingia pale nika change tu grade yangu peke yake kwa system ya shule, ita change what had been saved on the cloud?
Kwanza huyu jamaa kuingia kwa system inaonyesha jamaa ni mbaya. Yeah, juzi nilikuwa napitia mkuu na hiyo story ya walibia sako fulani, some boys alianza kuhack school system kidogo hivi, ana change results. So yes, in a distributed system itakuwa ngumu. Uki manage ku break authentication protocols za AWS instance, si the same na utapata kwa GCP. itakuwa different. Tena itabidi uanze tena. And then the reason why you use public cloud is security as well. Like, hawa sasha kuprovidea security measures. Kuna hizo stories za OAuth. Asha kuundia. Unaweka parameters, policies pale. So ni ngumu sana ku break public cloud. Private cloud maybe, lakini kwanza ni mtu aingie maybe kwa hiyo server yako install something, aweze kufanya remote access, si ndio?
Actually the thing is, ulisema uingie na utoke. So, unaona hapa kwa monitoring kwanza, kuna kitu inaitwa footprint. Kama unaweza erase footprint, kama ujamaa amekufunza ku erase footprint, ni sawa. But, kuna logs zenye ziubaki. If they do an audit, penetration testing is done, with thorough investigation, you can still get a log of this change. Because kwa computer, I mean, kila kitu huwa iko registered. So at some point, kuna tu mahali ataipata kwa black box. All computers have that, all right? But yes, utenge utoke, but on the monitoring, most of these things are normally easily detected. So like he said, kuna patameka yenye tu ni akona container na run authentication. So kwanza venye umepita hapo kwa hiyo authentication, already kutakuwa na flag. You get? And then having a microservice architecture, this thing you're not winging uko na everything at your disposal. You'll have to go through another service and another service and another service before you actually hit that particular database. And more often than not, most databases are not publicly available. Unless mtu ame set up your DB, alikuwa amekula kitu. Yes. So more often than not, no, yes.
The previous.
Umeonaje last slide wewe? Uwe ni prophet. Sawa basi, enda last slide.
Last or previous?
Oh, previous. Kizungu. Twende.
I have a question. In whatever you've been saying here, I'm interested in something called satellite, but I've not heard it on whatever you're saying here. That is my concern. That is why I came here. So I don't know how it gets into whatever you're saying.
Yeah. Satellite in terms of cloud computing. Bazu, ulikoza aje kusema hiyo? Right? Makosa?
So I don't know, by you laughing, I don't know, nimeuliza kitu mbaya.
No, you haven't. That's a good question. It's a good question.
Yeah.
Thank you. Makosa ni yetu, tumekubali.
I need an answer.
You need an answer. Okay. Can we address, and then we can come, Sindo, please. So, satellite. I mean, satellite is it's a versatile field. Are you talking about VSAT? Because VSAT is what we do for, most of these high schools in Kenya, we've done VSAT solution. Yes, VSAT. Satellite, that is what Starlink has used the same solution.
So the satellite I'm talking about
is,
you see that internet?
Yes.
The satellite I'm talking about, there is a role it plays in that internet. Eh?
Sorry?
The satellite I'm talking about, there is a role it plays in that internet I'm seeing there written. Eh?
Yes.
So that is what I want you to talk about.
Okay. I'll use a simple example. I really hope this answers your question. If you have a Red Hat server, what we do is we have a satellite. That satellite is what acts like a harbor for all our packages in order for us to fetch it. That's what you wanted. Part of what you wanted. No problem. You can ask.
So you said it relates. It's like it receives and remits information, yes?
The idea of a satellite, assuming it's in KU, you have a satellite that is on-prem or private to the environment.
Yes.
But that satellite has connectivity outside. The reason as to why we do that is for us not to be vulnerable. So that satellite constantly goes and checks with Red Hat, for example,
Yeah.
do we have the latest packages? If you have the latest, fetch them. So anyone who is using anyone who wants access to any of my packages, they have to hit the local satellite in the environment.
Before you proceed,
yes, sir.
The public, you said you go to the public server or satellite, yeah?
We can say satellite, there's no problem.
So,
yes.
Does it mean when you go to the public one,
yes,
the security is like you are secure?
Okay, you see, the thing with having everything of yours internal first is more advisable.
Yeah.
As opposed to doing a direct subscription to an external satellite. If
Yes.
anything happens to that satellite, we are
Yeah.
vulnerable, right?
Yes.
Because you have direct connectivity to it.
Yeah.
So if it's internal, na uko nayo, before it goes and fetches, or if anything happens to that satellite, you can break the chain between the satellite and the external communication, as opposed to...
My question is, that satellite
Yes.
you're talking about, there's the public one.
Yes.
But you know Safaricom deals in Kenya, mostly, yeah?
Yes.
Its market is in Kenya, yeah?
Yes.
So for its dealings, it needs a satellite, for me, how I understand it, eh? So does Safaricom has a satellite, or it subscribes?
Acha nijibu hii. Naona huyu jamaa kidogo anaenda
Basu.
kwa telecommunications.
Basu, kidogo.
Are you a telecom student?
Kidogo.
Okay. So
tuanze kwanza. Jamaa kuna server, si ndio? Ana run Ubuntu server.
Tulia kwanza. Acha usiende kwa server. Huyu jamaa atakuuliza swali lingine. Jo hataki kusikia mambo ya server. Nimekuona. So, unaitwa nani tena?
I'm about Razik.
Sawa. Sasa Razik, you've gone into telecommunications and I think you're more into transmission and how we are getting satellite communication converted to fiber, wireless and all those things. That's where your interest is.
Okay, that is different.
All right. So, I'll give you an answer, but today we're talking about cloud computing mostly and how you can basically leverage on cloud computing to run your infrastructure or your services, for example, all right? Applications and whatnot. But to answer your question on satellite, we have satellites that have already been deployed, and most of them have been deployed by mostly the US, like Elon Musk and whatnot. I don't know kakuna watu hapa wako na Starlink. So the other day there was a time alisema Kenya wa hold kwanza kwa sababu he needs to add more satellites for more communication. Because you guys had bought Starlinks vibaya sana. Okay, si vibaya, like in huge numbers, and you are actually, the signal was actually dropping. All right? Because of he needs to add more satellites. Because every connection comes from the satellite. Then we receive it. That's why we have boosters. All right? From those boosters, it's converted using microwaves, BTSs, and all those things. All right? So today, it was not the day to go into telecommunication. But mukiniita tena, tutaongea mambo ya telecoms, open run, and all those things. Radio signals, sawa sawa.
So tuseme makosa ni ya nani?
Ni kama ni yake, lakini tumu-accommodate bana. Uliza swali.
Okay, my question was about the ametoa slide. Lakini hapo kwa monitor, for example, I'm using a public cloud. Na I'm a developer. How does its security management work? How secure?
Is monitoring or the application? Okay.
Akona application kwa cloud. How is it secure with monitoring? Take it away.
All right. You know, monitoring, first of all, assists you to be proactive in terms of tracking what's happening with your application, right? So you have logs that are going for authentication. Unaona ujamaa ame login. Then unaona ka user fulani mwenye maybe role yake tu ni kuona anataka kuedit. That is a flag. It is actually, the monitoring tool will flag it, first of all, that this one is doing something that is not supposed to do. So it gives you that proactive action. But in terms of security, there are so many layers. I wish I had shown it because
you can actually show it from there, because one of them is load balancer is one form. There is WAF. For example, give me a public cloud that you're using. So you can use a wireless, not wireless, sorry, web
application
WAF.
firewall.
Yes, web application firewall. Load balancer can be one of them. You can set up your own firewall rules within your application. And then also, there's something that Bruce had mentioned about NATing. So how you set up your application, you can decide it's running on that environment with certain IP addresses, but how people are accessing it, it's NATed. So there's a conversion of IP address. So mini kiwa nje, your IP address na hit is not the true IP address. It's a decoy. So me, I'll be accessing it, but uko ndani it has a different address.
So you've maxed it. Hawezi pata direct access.
Yeah, so that's how you could secure it. So time to constrain kidogo. We were going to talk about AI and how it relates with cloud computing, but ni kama time imeenda. But just to answer, Dennis B can tell us if AI is going to replace humans.
No, it's not going to replace. First of all, AI is developed by a human being.
Correct.
So that is the first thing. AI is replaced, but you have to be words, right, into sound.
Yeah, so that's basically artificial intelligence using natural. Kosa. Asante sana.
Fit.
Beryl.
We najua hata mnasikia njaa. Poleni ama tumbo imeshikana na mgongo. Anyway, I'll be very quick and fast. Before nianze na let's see the listeners. I'm going to read out a voucher. And then the person who will get it ataniambia redeem from which channel. Ameitumia USSD ama alienda kwa app. Haya. 489229572726. Na key in.
Rudia tena.
Kuna mtu key in. Imeenda. How much is it? Haujaona? Haujapata message? Yeah, you've successfully. Oh. Umetumia Stafford, which channel to redeem? *141. Okay. Sawa, acha nirudie ingine. Na mtatumia app, tunamuongezea credit for free. Aya, na nitasema nita-rap. Nimesikia tu akirap. Let me rap. Actually, it's worth 250 shillings. So if you're able to redeem, twende. 7923026594531667. Finish the last number. Finish the last number. Guess the last number. Aya, sabona mnajam. Aya, 7923026594531673.
Finish the last number.
Imeenda. Umepata? Hey ladies. Anyway, my name's Aberilan Chepkemoi. I am a digital delivery lead at Safaricom. Apart from that, I lead the engineering community, a segment called Build by Safaricom. So I'll play a short video. You see what engineering community is and what activities that Safaricom have for where you guys can participate as youth. So, can play? No voice.
Bigger pause.
As we wait for voice, how many people have ever heard of Decode? How many people registered for the internship that Safaricom just advertised the other day? Okay, there are only 3. There are 4. Yeah, how many people are part of Women in Technology? Perfect. Safaricom Women in Tech, we've been here before. Okay. We will recruit after this. So, is it working?
About 2 years ago, the Safaricom engineering community was launched.
And the main purpose for the Safaricom engineering community is to bridge the gap between what is taught in schools versus what the industry requires. We are on a mission of creating centers of excellence across the country. We agreed with the faculty that we are going to create 5 centers of excellence in Meru University on cybersecurity, AI, software engineering and DevSecOps, IoT as well as 5G.
We also led a Women in Technology session. Women in Technology is a group of passionate women in Safaricom whose mission is to advance women from the classroom to the boardroom. During the event, we basically wanted to talk to the ladies about their life in campus. So the conversations are basically around finances, the relationships in campus. We also talk to them around personal branding, how they can brand themselves to be able to get jobs, how they can beef up their LinkedIn profiles as well. We also talk to them about our own journeys as women, how we have been able to get to where we are, just to be able to encourage them.
Living Gems is an initiative that began about 3 or 4 years ago. So the initiative was to just bring men together to ensure that we look at their well-being, and it's all round, from mental well-being to physical well-being to career choices, relationships, just to ensure that we are growing the men in the right way. So that as we grow the ladies, we have an equivalent growth for the men to ensure that the men don't remain behind, but can also be equitable to the ladies.
We've been here for the last 4 days for the Meru Innovation Week. We've had quite a number of programs running in parallel. We had almost 253 students who registered, and we had 3 winners whom were able to be awarded. I really enjoyed. I got to interact with the students, especially from both sides, both the gentlemen and the ladies. I really appreciate the aspect that they were really eager to learn. That is one. They were very enthusiastic in terms of just learning and being able to interact with the coaches.
We met very interesting students who were ready to learn, and I loved that they were very eager to get knowledge from us.
I'm an exhibitor presenting on real estate smart connectivity system. This whole exhibition has been so empowering. Also, I want to thank Meru University for giving us such an opportunity, and also Safaricom for also being here with us and teaching us a lot on a lot of things. The Innovation Week has been a very nice experience for me. I've learned a lot, and I would like to finish by thanking Safaricom for giving us this opportunity to learn more and explore more. The experience in mostly was a really nice experience. I learned a lot, interacted a lot. I want to thank Safaricom for this opportunity.
My call to action is everyone who's involved in the tech ecosystem to come and support and see how we can actually plug in and build the future of the youth that we want in this country.
As the mantra that we use here at Safaricom Engineering Community, let's inspire one student at a time.
Of the youths that we want in this
So
country.
that's a video of one of the institution, as you could say our lead has mentioned that Safaricom Engineering Community mainly we work to make institutions to be center of excellence. So across the country, we've identified quite a number of institutions, and we are, like for Meru, it's one of our center of excellence for AI. And there's an opportunity from our programs. Maybe you can go to the next slide. So we have different pillars. There's the Accelerate by Safaricom. So, and this is where all of you can benefit. So Accelerate by Safaricom mainly, we work directly with the institution like for 3 months, offer a cloud computing, a good example is doing a cloud computing sessions. And the gentlemen over here, they were able to do for Maseno and Masinde, they'll be graduating during our Decode event. Apart from that, so mainly, just go back to the slide for pillars. The next slide after this. Yes. So mainly Accelerate is more of offering institution skill-based boot camps, and whereby at the end of the program you're able to graduate. I'll be able to share a QR code at the end where you can register, and we will work with your campus leads to see what can we be able to deliver for this institution. Is it cloud computing, or we can pick another? Mostly, I think from the interest, we'll proceed with cloud computing. We have Build by Safaricom. Build by Safaricom mainly is what we've done over here today. where we can sit with you guys for like 2 hours or 1 hour, and we just take you through a crash course of just understanding the basic knowledge, the basic technology trends that are being used currently. Apart from that, built by Safaricom also, we can host you guys at our institution and come and hear from our engineers what they do in the different areas. So this mainly, it's being initiated by your clubs in the campus. I don't know if we have a tech club within KU. Yes, so you can easily reach out to us and be able to plot a session where you can come and sit with us, maybe a half day or full day, and we call it sit by Nelly. So you see what our engineers, they really, you'll sit with Alvaro Vizuri, ako explain you what platform engineering is, or there Dennis B will tell you about the infrastructure aspect. So that is the aspect of built by Safaricom. We have Safaricom Zizi. This one mainly we target the high school students. So for this, mostly we come and host them for like a week, and we just accelerate their mind in terms of just preparing their minds and opening their minds to see. It's not only the key courses that they know. Najua mimi nikiwa campus, tulikuwa tunaambiwa either utakuwa daktari, ama mniambie lawyer. What are those courses? Engineer, architect, pilot, you see. But now for us, what we do at Safaricom Zizi, when they sit with us, these kids, they sit with us at our spaces, we try to open their mind. Even nowadays, creatives get a lot of money compared to these core skills that we put it out there. Lastly, we have Safaricom Buni. Safaricom Buni is more of an internal item, and this one we mainly work with just building innovative ideas within Safaricom with our engineers. C-Request, these are mini communities within Safaricom, and they just assist in innovation. So our mission, I think you saw the lady called Naisenya mentioning, it's just mainly is to build a world-class tech and a culture of engineering. Not only, as per last year, we were only doing Kenya, but for this year, we are doing it worldwide, East Africa. And I had asked her when I started, nani ameisikia kitu inaitwa Decode Summit? Decode? Umesikia sahi. So be online on our pages, Safaricom PLC social media. I know the month of March, we will be doing a 3-day summit, and when the registration opens, please be among the first people to register. The last time we had a Decode Summit, we opened the registration, and within 10 minutes, it was already full with 1,000 students. So when you see it, apply. You will be able to come and sit with us in Sarit for 3 days, and we'll just have an outlook of how East Africa will be with the evolution of tech. With that, I think I'll welcome Faith. Oh, Sylvia, makosa ni yangu. Faith was looking at me a lot. Anyway, I'll welcome Sylvia to talk about WIT, and then after that, I'll share a QR code where you can scan and register and join our community. And once you register, we will do our communication. Even the Decode, the guys will register. Tutawatumia mwambie, please register. The Decode link is open.
Can you hear me? I know you're very tired. I will only take 5 minutes at most. So on behalf of the Safaricom Women in Technology, which is like a community of women who have, gone beyond to actually, let me use the word penetrate, a male-dominated field.
Men were just chilling.
So yeah, we have gone ahead. So you can see that in Safaricom, yes, maybe the numbers are mostly male, but as you can see today, the representation is actually 50-50. So it shows you that we've actually made it. So WIT has a pillar for campus outreach, where they normally have events in different universities that you guys participate in. And very soon, like within the year, they will be launching an ambassador program so that you guys in campus can actually join the WIT that is in Safaricom. You can become members. So they'll be looking to launch in 3 universities in Nairobi. So you can look at all the pages for WIT and maybe even the Safaricom PLC page. You will see the call for registration. Yes. They'll also be having 6-month boot camp for cloud computing in conjunction, collaboratively with SEC, with the Safaricom engineering community, and also Huawei. So also look out for that. When you're browsing TikTok, take a break, open the browser, Google Safaricom WIT. I'm sure we have very good search engine optimization. Yeah, that's it from WIT so far. Or rather, look out. You will see, you will become more involved in you guys as you continue to grow and be encouraged to join Safaricom or any other company that is a tech company.
Actually, to add on WIT, she has just mentioned campus outreach. For WIT, they start to work with you from when you are a kid. So there's a program called Kids Go Tech. So in those Kids Go Tech, it's for the age between 8 to around, I think, 4 to around 12 before you become a teenager. They'll just teach you. Utakuja ufanye scratch, ubuild robot, mtoto mdogo. Ukimaliza hiyo hatakuacha. Tutakuja kuna program inaitwa 4747. So 4747 is they go and empower. So unlike Muzizi, you will come and sit with us at this institution. Then they'll go to these high schools, the remote ones. They'll just go and motivate that person. Kumwambia, by the way, you can do it. And within 4747, there's another program in it called Technovation. The Technovation is a competition. And most of the guys who have participated in the Technovation competition, for the longest years, the guys who have been trained by Safaricom, they've been going to Silicon Valley. So that is in high school. Then ukimaliza high school, watakuacha. The next one inakuja next ni campus outreach. So campus outreach, this is what she has explained. After campus outreach, they won't leave you. There's another one called WIT networking session. So WIT networking session, mainly what they do is they have events, they call young engineers like you guys, and you just network and get to be mentored, get to learn from the experts. And that is how the whole circle for women in tech is. To be confirming, I am a very strong output of women in tech because they picked me when I was in 3rd year in campus. And since then, they have just been working with me. So for the ladies who are here, make sure you go and follow Safaricom WIT page. That is the Instagram one and the Twitter one. And when they request for people to register, raise your hand. Let me see how you guys raise your hands. Hebu muinue mkono tuone. Yes. I always tell people, ukipatiwa opportunity unafanya hivi. Si unafanya hivi. And as I finish, as you guys are in campus, I want to tell you about the 3 C's. And those 3 C's should govern your network. Who are your friends? The first C is a comrade. I think comrade mnatumianga kila pahali. And all these C's, you should have these people in your life. A comrade ni ule mtu mwenye, saizi nikimwambia, twende Nyayo. Kuna pesa ta Nyayo, kusindio? Tumeenda Nyayo. Aya, kuja twende hivi. They will always follow you, what they tell you. They see you as a leader. Always have that person in your friendship. The second one is a constituent. Constituent, ni ule you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Dennis B, I know you are very good in platform engineering. And me, I'm very good maybe in digital delivery. What can you do and what can you do and what can you do for me? That person should be very important because you know their weakness and they know your weakness. And when you work together, you win. And lastly is a confidant. A confidant has 3 things: a sponsor, a coach, and a mentor. So, homework. Go and identify who can be your mentor, who can be your coach, and who can be your sponsor. A sponsor ni ule mtu mwenye, if I sit in any table, any conference room, nitakutetea niseme, I believe Faith can do it. You get? And then there's the mentor who will just try to give you the direction. And this should be senior people. And then your coach, within yourselves you can coach each other. Mse mwenye anaweza kucall it out venye iko. You can go and confide to them. Na nikimaliza na hayo, as you move huko hivi, kuna hiyo registration link, you can scan that QR code. I will share the link with the MC. I don't know how you can be able to get it. If there's a student leader over here, you can just reach out, I share with you the link. Register, join become an engineering community member. The ladies who will be able to join, I'll extract your names and share it with the women in tech team. You can be able to join their pool. Sawa sawa? I don't know.
Kuna swali pale.
Yes.
I have a question. Okay, for me as a lady to join the WIT staff women in tech, do you have to have the tech know-how or something? Or can someone be trained or some? Yeah.
I'll call Faith to answer your question.
As Faith answers, your willingness to initiative kutoka kwako, that's good energy already. So you need that for starters. Faith, continue.
Hi everyone, I'm Faith. As you've heard, Beryl has called me a couple of times. But to join the Women in Tech, you don't have to have the tech skills. You have to show interest, show passion, because one of the things we offer is mentorship. One of the things we offer is learning, boot camps, and all of that. So just apply. We will be able to see that you have the drive, you have the will, and yeah.
Beryl, we're done.
Is there another question about Women in Tech?
Sawa sawa. Please ensure you register and I close them. Sir.
Yangu ilikuwa more vile walikuwa naelezea. I think it would have been better if you like, si unajua Kenya we are doing an e-citizen platform, you know, with vile mnaelezea databases and how you access a portal, like how you do like an example with a real stuff that we have interacted with. Itakuwa easier for sisi to follow through. Yule alikuwa number 15 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. But that can be done when we have like the program we had with Maseno and Masinde Murillo, where we take you guys through. It's a hands-on process actually. We actually give you guys labs. We give you scenarios and case studies. You go through them. It's very hands-on, and you work on it. And at the end of it all, you have a whole project that you've completed. So that one needs more time. But yes, we can have that.
Yeah, my question is, supposing a student has an idea that they would want to develop probably an application. Yeah, and how do we go about, how does Safaricom come in? Do we have programs to help students develop these programs?
Currently, we are working on a framework with the legal team. Once it's out, you'll be able to publish and you'll see the organization name and you'll be able to submit your idea. Yeah. So kwa hayo mengi, I've been seeing them still looking at me na ile macho ya watu wanasikia njaa. So, wacha tumemaliza, and I really want to appreciate. Please register, please log in, and you will, for sure, you'll get a mentor somewhere within the ecosystem. Oh, no, nimeuliza mnatutaka wapi? Where do you feel like you want us to come and do an immersion with you guys for 3 months?
We'd prefer, or for me and the association I'm representing, we'd be grateful to have an immersion in networking and how it's applied in cloud computing and also into blockchain. Yes. The association is KU Telecommunications and Technology Association.
I have to keep the email. I had to keep the Safaricom engineering email. Can I be able to share it with you after this, and then you can be able to drop us an email? And then we'll be able to support you. Okay.
So we have a club, GGD, on campus. We'd like to have a mentorship on cloud computing, cybersecurity. Yeah. Yeah.
Currently, Safaricom mainly we are using AWS and Azure. We use GCP too. Okay. I will get back to you if there's a conflict of interest. Because GDG, I know it's being run by GDG Nairobi, Sindio? And it's a community. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, I also represent Kenyatta University Innovators. Yeah, and we would love if you guys come through and teach us some of the simplest coding. Of course, we have coders, but just teach us some coding languages, simple coding languages. Yeah.
So what I'll do to assist, you see the guys who have registered, I will share a survey where guys, they'll be able to fill the items that they want to be able to, we do it as an immersion. That is okay? Kwa hayo mengi akiacha ni wacha tumwende mkule. Cause, tunaangaliwa na ile macho ya watu, tumbo imeshikana na mgongo. We need to let you guys go. So thank you guys, we really appreciate. I'm sorry that our session imekuja into lunch hour, but next time MCs, please ensure you start your program in time. We will really appreciate. Haya, asanteni.
Wapi makofi yao jamani? We can do better, guys. You guys, are you ready for furthermore? Are you ready for Tipsy G? Saisi taua na merchandise, saina aua na lunch, na aua na meal cards. Kindly my ushers, wapatie tu kama wamekaka wakisimama ukipewa, you are free to leave for the lunch, kindly. Yes, ukipewa meal card, you are free to leave. Tupatane after hapa, Tupatane amphitheater for the awarding ceremony. Remember, we shall be awarding the top 3 students who have been the most active. We have Emmanuel there, we have Lynette, and we have the other lady there. You will be awarded close to 10,000 shillings. You never know. So kindly Tupatane amphitheater, tupate merchandise huko mingi. Tipsy G anakuja, sawa? Ukipewa, tunaondoka gumosi, gupili, hadi kwa tensa lunch. Yes, you are free to live at your own peril. Yes, Tupatane amphitheater, guys. Yes, unapewa meal card, unaondoka.
Moyoni wewe wajua, kapigwa butwa, moyo ukanifunguka.
Hera okdwar koko, hera okdwar chaye, hera dwaro kwe, hera dwaro kwe, hera okdwar koko, hera okdwar chaye.
Kesho itakamna nini? Now that uliniachia mkidi, nilijua gaweni mdigidi, basi kudhani itaikuwa hivi. Kono stingy AJ kwa mimi, na Josh pendangi vipindi. Kwa kikao ni vitimbi, na uliko kitwa witiki. In the beginning God created Eve to deceive me. Companion sipingi, na kani biz ni dingli. Baby yako si mimi na ujieke hizo risiti. Tris zina nikolingi na nikanta ongeza wapili. Squeezy na nyonga neck ya whisky, uski na chapa ndo mnaishiki yo, na come home sipiki, of course just dishi. Zamani ulikuwa mklingi, saini ningi mingi silly yo.
Mapenzi dwaro respect, mapenzi dwaro assurance, mapenzi dwaro endurance.
For real man, for real.
Era engi mabe.
Kwani ujui kwa rakati ya shughuli, mina ngoja maembe hivyo ana ikula mbichi na chumvi. Ashiki simu zako, chali yake wa Saudi amerudi. Siamini shida zako zote ni juu ya dema na duri. Stuvai mangwai anadai ni mbaye baye, stem to angodha walai bilai, labda ikiwaga kwa hanging line. Mambo ya magoshodo sidai, niliamua bolungo niangai. Nikiwa na wewe natumia maganji, pesa inabaki maziro baadaye. Ali click na click, ni mimi nilimtoa kwa strict. Picnic tuli take my pics, baka wakadai skade na simp. Jampa ya wrong rende ya pink, ya wa setere trips. Kinembe KJ stink, sikujua dengi yange flip.
Era okdwar koko, era okdwar chae, era dwar okwe, era dwar okwe, era okdwar koko, era okdwar chae, era dwar okwe, era dwar okwe.
Napani mina juta balaga nilioni kumba mimi. Nilikuwa naye mchumba wangu aliyeitwa Maproso. Nilimwahidi ndoa ya kifahari, mapumziko yetu yangekweko Mombasa. Kama ni manyumba na magari ningempa, ila siku ya harusi Maproso kantoroka. Kanibia hela na vifaa vyenye thamana, nkapigwa butwa moyo ukanifunguka. Oh Maproso, mbona